Sound Story, you're able to take care of Mother's Day shopping in a matter of minutes, and you're able to give a gift that lasts a lifetime. Mom will love the experience of sharing her stories, and your family, both today and years from now, will love to have the stories saved forever. Just go to mysoundstory.com, enter promo code TMA at checkout, and save 20% off your Sound Story gift card and give Mom the perfect Mother's Day gift. If you are planning to shave strokes this summer while looking good and staying cool, then be sure you are wearing Holderness & Bourne. Holderness & Bourne offers premium golf gear that blends classic style with modern fit and performance. H&B's look is more polished than other golf polos because the sleeves won't hang past your elbows and the fabric won't crowd around the shoulder, so you can swing free and easy. Enjoy 15% off your next order at hbgolf.com with the promo code TMA15 and feel the difference in Holderness & Bourne's premium golf apparel.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalita's. TMA listeners know that Rosalita's Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalita's is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalita's has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalita's cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalita's.
Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day. Rise and shine, St. Louis. It's the Ryan Kelly Morning After on KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. At the Morning After STL on YouTube and on TMASTL.com with Tim McKernan, Doug Vaughn, Iggy Strode, The Plowboy, and Action Jackson.
7:07 in St. Louis. You're listening to the Ryan Kelly Morning After. We are in our Michelob Ultra Studios. It's the Munganess, St. Louis Acura, Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Timothy, Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, Jackson Burkett in for Ken Iggy Strode, who is out with COVID. And the Plowhawk is on the ones and twos. Nobody in the Horton Watkins studios today, and as KG in O-Town has let the audience know, you can just come in and essentially be a producer off the street.
Right. They just let you in at the front door, and you settle in and start hitting levers and pulleys.
I'm not kidding. It's that easy.
It is that easy.
You want to get in the business? Here's your chance.
Here's your chance.
Produce this show.
Show up here and produce. That is what we've got going for you today. It is a foursome on the tee, a hot foursome though. All men looking for other men. Call in to offer yourself up. 636-9004-TMA. You can text into our EDF group text inbox 314-881-TMA5, and of course email in for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today, the morning after at InsideSTL.com. And be a friend of the Feather, and of course, watch us. I feel like I look like a little bad bunny right now.
Do you?
Yeah, I just saw myself on YouTube, and I look like a bad bunny.
You do look kind of like a bad bunny.
Not really.
What does a bad bunny look like?
Well, I think of the actual Bad Bunny.
Right.
And I can see the similarities with Tim. I think
I've been compared.
Yeah, I think he's now with Kendall Jenner. Mm-hmm. So, you know.
That's correct.
He's a rapper.
Yeah, musician, R&B.
He's kind of paycheck to paycheck kind of a guy.
Yeah. Aren't we all?
Only a few people know about him.
Yeah, Jackson, you get is your hair slicked back? I just noticed.
Well,
Doug is no longer bright. Jackson's bright.
Well,
you do have your hair slicked back.
Well,
Doug,
just
you notice it looks like Pat Riley over there.
Or Mike Keenan.
So with the headphones, if I don't do it, it looks really weird with my hair because it'll go all over the place. Because despite having issues with my hair, it is quite long at the moment. And so if I don't slick it back, it'll look really weird. So I kind of have to do the Pat Riley.
Do you think when you slick it back, you also look like a bad bunny?
Yeah. I just look like a...
I've got hair that people would die to have.
Yeah, I look like I'm ready to get after it.
Do you?
Yeah, and I do look bright because my skin...
I don't think that's it. It's the lighting.
I guess I could.
See how you're...
Yeah, I'm like...
Doug used to have the thing where
I'm like top lit. I'm like lit right from the top, which is not...
Top lit.
Not that flattering.
I got perfect lighting.
Hyphen. Yeah, Plowhawk, you're looking nice.
Yeah.
Then I just look like a bad bunny.
Okay.
I could mess with the lighting.
What's going on now?
No, would you rather look like a bad bunny or a lounge lizard?
Ooh, that's
Good question.
Worse.
Yeah, that got worse.
Yeah, it got brighter.
Whatever.
Oh, and then you got like a little shoot in the back coming out too.
Yeah, my hair is really long. I kind of want to cut it, but I'm nervous it'll never come back.
I know the feeling, brother.
What?
I know the
So
feeling.
I might just
August
write it out.
2006, Doug, is when that happened to me
Well,
in Las Vegas.
it grows from the roots, not from the tip.
Right. Well, always the tip. But I'll probably get it cleaned up in the back and the sides. But I think the
Cut and
top.
color?
I like the top length. No color needed.
Just the tip.
My hair has somehow gotten lighter over the years.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah. I was like, my father had like kind of blondish hair as a kid, and it got a lot darker. Where now is dark brown hair. Me, I've gotten lighter.
You had black hair when you were a kid.
No. Still had blonde hair, but it's even
It's lighter.
It just keeps getting lighter.
Boy, the listeners were just loaded for Bear. They try to get the first text in, and they just... All right, I'll just read them through. Jackson doing his best to keep Doug away from Monte Carlo with those NBA picks. That's from the 636.
I hope you didn't make that play last
So
night.
you did make the play on the Celtics last night. I don't know if you gave that on this. I know you gave it
I
on
did.
101 ESPN. Celtics minus, 7 or so?
7.5.
And
Doug,
got
I think they
thumped.
lost.
I got thumped.
Yeah.
Mr. Licks was up next. If I read one more comment online by a dumbass, public-educated moron who doesn't understand the difference between Bally's and Diamond Sports, my head is literally going to explode. Mr. Licks not happy. Nate in Tallahassee, who has not been as active as of late, I don't believe. My favorite thing about the show, this is a shout at Iggy, is when Iggy is not on it.
Okay, stop.
Guys, will the Cardinals complete the sweep today? Anyway, tell them good luck. Doug, we used to get phone calls.
Tell them good luck.
I've
Who's pitching
played
for the
before the
Cardinals?
show.
Who's playing second base? What's their lineup look like? All right, tell them good luck. I will not tell them good luck. I will not see them to tell them good luck. And even if I did, I wouldn't say, hey, good luck. I wouldn't do it.
TJ, I'm sorry, writes in. Paula Cole is kind of hot. Doug, you remember her? Where have all the cowboys gone? What was the name of the song? Is that in reference to Dawson's Creek? Because she had the song that was over the opening credits on Dawson's Creek.
Wow.
Remember that? Wow, that's so meta.
Yeah, we're coming full circle.
I don't
think
remember
Paul-
the gal.
I don't think she shaved her armpits.
Oh.
That's what I remember. I think she was from Boston.
That's what she
Yeah.
was known for?
She was called Black Irish, is what they call it when you got the black hair, the light skin, and the blue eyes. And she was initially, am I right on this, Peter Gabriel's backup singer,
I just don't know.
and then she went solo, and she did Where Have All the Cowboys Gone? Oh, and there's Doug. There's a tuft right under her arm right there. She's accepting an
It's a
award.
big tuft. Oh,
Yeah.
why
Yeah.
would you do that?
Shout out Paula Cole.
There it is. There's our Paula Cole shout out. Right at 7:14 is the script called for.
Of all things to be known for, you don't want to be known for your underarm hair, do you?
Probably wouldn't be one of the things I'd like to be known for.
Yeah, I'd find something else.
But everyone's got to have a
Do you know what a size queen is?
Iggy is out with Kenvid, a.k.a. anything to get out of actually going to work. That's from Eric in the Central West End. He has been a panty rooster
really
as of
has.
late. Hey, Doug, did you listen to Jackson and bet your house on the Celtics? That's from Jim.
Did you say bet the house?
Oh, yeah.
You did?
I said it was, like 10-unit play.
But you didn't bet anything.
I made a small play.
Oh,
It's all right. If the trajectory is the same as last year, Tatum will go off in Game 6, get a huge win on the road, and then they'll dominate Game 7.
Wow,
go to
there
the
it is.
conference
That's how it's
finals.
going to work.
okay.
Did the same thing against Giannis last year.
Why didn't he decide to dominate last night?
Good question.
I know he had a big game, but
They were out of sync. Rough home game for the Celtics.
Huh. All right. Well, it happens.
I was more locked into the Cardinal game, honestly, which was rare. That's a
These
rare thing for me.
Rivers, I mean, has anybody ever been this hot?
3 in a row for the first time this year, Doug. How do you do?
I'm fine. We're just 3 behind those Red Lakes now. Only 8 out of first place.
Picking up games, picking up steam. And by the way, if you're looking to make a play, they're plus 750 to win the Central. And I don't know how, a week ago it was plus 350. It's not like the last week has been magical, but I officially have to give that a recommended value play, considering the division. I want to emphasize that. If the Cardinals were a part of anything other than a Central, so I would include the Wests and the Easts. If in the American League Central, I don't know if they're going to allow a team in this year. I think this might be a first where Rob Manfred says we're not going to accept a team from the American League
We're
Central.
going to get
'cause
relegated.
It's quite an operation they've got over. The Twins are 2 games over 500, and they're in first place by 2 games, to give you an indication of what's going on there. Meanwhile, the Pirates have lost 8 of 10. The Brewers have lost 7 of 10. The Cubs have lost 7 of 10. The Cardinals have lost 7 of 10, except they've been picking up ground on the Brewers because the Brewers have lost 8 of 10, or the Pirates have lost 8 of 10. And so the Cardinals are only 8 games back. Paul DeYoung, 9th inning. How do you do? Let's take a listen to the call on, what does Mr. Licks want us to call it, Diamond Sports
I
now?
believe so. Yeah. Go ahead, Blousy.
Boy has not shown too many more signs of that. Swing, fly ball, belted left center. There's number 14 for the lead.
There it is.
Okay.
He pumped that one. I mean, that was right down Main Street.
Pump
but
it.
He's hitting
hottie.
350.
He
Pump it.
pumped that ball.
Pump it.
Trade him
hottie.
immediately.
Southside Seaman picked him up. Then we put him back on waivers.
Yeah,
Does somebody have him in our league?
I don't know. I certainly
You
I
have
have too many
so,
shortstops.
yeah.
Don't think I have room for Paul DeYoung on the squad.
I'd be shocked if I woke up and I saw that the foreskin stew, now known as the Founding Fathers Tufts,
Yeah.
had picked up Paul DeYoung.
When he gets hot, though, he can rake. He doesn't get hot very often, but when he does,
It's usually in about a 5-day burst.
Yeah.
yeah.
And
You got to
that-
try to capture that for fantasy baseball purposes.
In that 5-day burst, you're calling teams. You're looking for a shortstop. You're looking for a guy with some power.
This is an organization that enjoys a good log jam.
I just picked up Paul DeYoung. I just picked him up.
Huge move right there.
I was playing somebody named Tovar at shortstop. I don't even know who he is.
Hobart?
Tovar.
I've never
with
heard of him.
Colorado. I was desperate. I've had 2 or 3 hurt already.
So you're going to start the young?
Hey, he's starting today.
Yeah, when he's hot. Yeah.
Here comes the descent.
Today.
Shows
There
your
it comes.
club's really.
Guys, Chip Carey is really good. It's awesome. That is from. Where am I? There's the text inbox. Tracy Woodson.
Well,
Thank
he
you,
is good.
Jackson.
That's why he's been in the business so long. He's done it since he's early 20s.
You know who I thought was good over the weekend was Tom Ackerman.
Yeah,
I
Tommy
did too.
Ack.
Very comfortable behind the
I
mic.
really did.
Yep.
I really did.
He had a great call when they lost, and he goes, hey, I can't remember word for word, but he's like, it's just not getting better. You know, it was a great call to end the game.
I really thought he was good.
He's good at everything he does.
But it stood out to me because usually when I'm watching a game, sometimes if there's a bunch of screaming or something, I'll be like, okay. But I'm like, I noticed it watching every one of those games, watching Cardinals and Tigers baseball, but I did. And I got, like, man, God bless him. Good for Tommy Ack. As
Yeah.
Jennings would call him, I should have been Tommy Ack.
That's my favorite. My favorite thing he ever said. I should have been Tommy Ack.
Yeah.
Guys, I have a TMA conspiracy theory. This is from Cuck Knobloch, who walked into lesbianism while he was changing the litter box in his home. Iggy pulled a Stedman and just quit the show, walked away with no goodbye. That's from Cuck Knobloch.
That's not true.
Well, it's not true, but I don't remember Stedman just quitting the show. That happened?
Well, how did he exit?
I think we exited. I think. I'm trying to remember. He got sideways with Prod Joe. He never worked at anything but KFNS. Where's Buck Swope on this? And then I asked producer Joe to come in today because we knew KG and O-Town wouldn't be able to come in. And he said he has meetings, so he will not be in. Meetings. It's like when Pepper and Jeannie asked Jay to stick around for Pepper and Jeannie. He said he thought he had meetings.
A phone call.
I got a
He had
phone call. Maybe. I think it wasn't even a definitive phone call.
But I don't remember that. That would be very un-Stedman. Doug Stedman, he clocked in, he clocked out, just didn't say much, but then would orchestrate the drops 5 seconds ahead of the words we said.
Right.
I don't know how he did it.
He was so good at the drops. As a listener, I actually thought it was somehow scripted out, or that it got put back in there. Like he was on delay, the show was on delay, and he could put the drops in after hearing the show.
I actually got to shadow him when I interned at KFNS.
Did he talk to you?
Oh, God, no. But I thought I would, because he was big timey. Then I realized he just doesn't talk, ever.
Greatest guy, though. I
Yeah.
mean, the absolute, you couldn't ask for more from Stedman. Cuck Knobloch with a follow-up. I thought he was the one who didn't announce he was leaving. The drops one day just stopped. Doug, that's haunting. That's from Cuck Knobloch.
Is that true?
The day the drop stopped.
That's how they write the obituary of a soundboard engineer.
Hello, we got Buck Swope does have the information. Just texted my phone. Stedman left after Prod Joe right around the launch of 590 The Man in May of 2013. Interesting. Prod Joe left in March of 13.
How could he remember that stuff?
Buck Swope, man. TMA
He is a
timelines.
savant, man.
TMA timelines.
That's why he was so bitter at the trivia.
Because he felt like he knew the answers.
probably
And then he accosted Jackson on the
Yes,
St.
he
Gabriel
did.
stage.
Boy, howdy.
Zach took over on the drops immediately. So Buck Swope, did he leave? Just like, did he not show up? Or did he announce he was leaving? I remember talking to producer Joe. We went out to my car because we felt like, you get murdered in that building at that point. And so I said, so why are you leaving? He gave me his reasoning, and he goes, plus this, whatever, profanity that's coming in here. Obviously, this is going to go out of business. He goes, so it just speaks to how unstable it is, and I don't want to be in a spot in 20 years where I'm, desperate to just stay on board, just to hang on to be able to pay bills. And I go, totally makes sense to me.
Yep.
God bless you. 9 years, Doug, nearly 10 years. 9 years for
9 is
Bradshaw.
almost 10.
Amen.
Yeah.
Think about that.
Very close.
Yeah.
But I didn't recall the Stedman exit either. I bet he wishes he would have stuck around for the man and woman.
I think we all wish we could have been there right in the middle of that, right in the belly of the beast.
It's kind of
I
a
was
defining moment in broadcast radio.
Let's see. I will always bring up salesman mine as the goat dropper. Doug, I'm going to read it again so you can interpret it.
Okay.
I'll always bring up salesman mine as the goat dropper.
He meant to go type Stedman, and it auto-corrected into salesman.
Correct.
Okay. What about the mine part?
Is that mine, M-I-N-E?
That's correct.
Apparently.
Do I feel like he's saying salesman Mike, which is account executive
account
Mike?
executive Mike. Wow, Jackson didn't even see that there.
Yeah.
So fun to interpret the text.
Yeah.
I think that's what but that would be,
Mike
he was
Ritter,
only,
Chops Ritter? Is that what you're talking
I don't
about?
know if he ever ran the board.
Oh.
but he ran the board before Plowsy. I remember because that was when I started listening, and he was training you, right?
Yeah, he was training me for not full time, but it was to fill in while you guys were looking for a full timer. So I wasn't hired with you.
You were an
guys.
interim.
I was just interim at the time.
I just like the nickname Chops Ritter.
Because of his sideburns. How great is that?
He had mutton chops.
Let's see what we got. Hammer and Hank says, I honestly thought Tim McKernan would get the fill-in days for Chip Carey. That's from Hammer and Hank. Can you imagine the sound-off letters if I were on the call of the
You
Cardinals
would turn it down, wouldn't you?
Oh, man, I don't know. Let's see. It was a sad day when you guys lost Donnie Most. Guys with passions like that don't grow on trees. Doug, Donnie Most, a passionate intern.
Right.
He sat back there with Weezer and the Plowhawk.
Not happy to be there.
I remember the last
stay
thing.
long.
The last thing
Donnie Most.
the last thing he said on air. What that awkward question about would you rather have legs as long as fingers as long as legs, and everyone got freaked out, and he stopped talking after that.
Oh, he did.
That was the last thing he
Well,
said.
what did we decide on?
I don't even know if we actually decided. It was one of the segments that we had where interns ask a question, Weezer would ask one, Donnie Most would ask one. I think.
Has there ever been a comet that shined as bright as Weezer?
I mean
He
that.
had one morning with his Facebook account. Stunning.
Could you get something better out of an intern than that one segment?
Yeah. Well, he was a heavy hitter. He had more than that, but that would.
Oh yeah,
that
I was a
memorable.
loyal First Pitch listener.
I was a fan of First Pitch as well.
Yeah.
TJ Weber,
Love the
legit
guy.
talent, and then had the Plowhawk and Weezer. I'd still listen to that show.
And Kyle Tipton, the original Otter.
Sure.
Doug
Yeah.
Otter.
The original Otter.
Yeah, he was there.
Guys, evil David Letterman was easily the best at playing drops, and it's not particularly close. That comes from the reluctant cock. Evil David Letterman was an older intern, I think, stuck around for 2 shifts.
2 days.
And bolted. He was unfortunately accused of being the one who would piss near the toilet, but not into the toilet, but rather into a grate near the toilet. When Bert Kaufman asked me, Tim, we have one of your staff members urinating in one of our grates.
So weird. Like that's like
really
your protest is I'm going to piss in this grate.
But with Evil David Letterman also came Calvin, the amateur wrestler. Remember, they were both interns at the same
Oh, yeah,
time.
yeah,
and he had an amazing radio voice. He stuck around a week.
Oh, nice. Our internships are
It's a nice
brief.
long run. Then we had the guy who put the Six Flags people on blast when he blew the lid over the
I love
scam
that kid.
turkey legs were actually ham of
That's
some
right.
kind.
Every
Surprised
time-
we weren't going to deal with litigation on that one.
Yeah.
Every time I
Walt.
see one at Six Flags, I always think of him.
Matt, who wears a cape, I believe was his
Yes.
name.
Yeah.
Guys, I miss Bordop Lucas. He filled in for roughly 2.5 hours, got aggressively hit on, and left the industry and hasn't been heard from since.
Right.
I assume he joined Gangster Pete scraping dead animals off streets that moonlight as a drag strip. That's from Al, and he's in Dadeville.
Lucas looked like after like a firefighter with like 10 hours of putting out a fire, just like after a show, he absolutely demoralized.
He was only 20 or 21, came in to try to save us and
Yeah.
run the board, and immediately people are saying, "What are you packing, boy?"
Have that cute boy stand up and do a twirl.
Right.
And he was just this nice kid.
Oh, yeah.
And it was like before
Plowhawk
YouTube, right?
Plowhawk it
shell-shocked.
was. Plowhawk had been fired. This was the firing during the show.
Correct, yeah.
I had just gotten back from spring training. I meet Lucas. He's running the board, and he's immediately hit on by the audience.
It was like a young soldier just diving into the foxhole, immediately shell-shocked by what's happening around him.
Guys, how old was Evil David Letterman? Are we talking like in his 40s? I think there's a chance he might have been in his 50s.
Yeah, late 40s for sure.
And he wanted to intern on the show.
Good for him.
Yeah, try to get into
I don't
business
know
somehow.
love
where he
that.
would be at right now.
Guys, Paul Giamatti was a great board op / intern at 9:20. Also, can you send me a pic of Lucas? That's from Brian Henson. Doug, as you know, he won the
gosh.
Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month for the month of March. Chairman Stephen Wildwood won it in April. Who will win it in the month of May? I
don't know.
I think Buck Swope is live. He is leading the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today's standings right now. He's over the Sneaky Janitor, Tunnels 12,000, Hoomst is Greg Valanche, and Matt who bowls at Hanks. It's the Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. A little rain today as I was walking into the Hubbard Radio St. Louis studios. Doug, I see a chance for storms, below 50% throughout the mid-afternoon. But temperatures will be upper 70s, maybe get into the 80s today. And then we take a look at the weekend. Looks like it's pretty favorable. Going to be warm, though. Going to be warm.
That's okay.
80s, high 80s on Saturday. Now it's time to get that air conditioning taken care of with Design Air Heating and Cooling. Doug's a client. I'm a client. Say, friends, why don't you become a client as well? It's Design Air Heating and Cooling. Get your air conditioning tuned up, and you won't have any problems when it does get hot in St. Louis. It's Design Air Heating and Cooling online at designairservice.com. If it goes out, you just go to Design Air Service. They come out and take care of it quick, fast, and in a hurry. It's Seth Goldcamp and Design Air Heating and Cooling. And by the way, courtesy of Design Air, let's look ahead to next week's Dotem forecast.
What is it?
79 and sunny on Thursday, 80 and sunny on Friday.
Well, there'll be people complaining about that.
Could you ask for
complain
anything
about everything.
better? That's prime Dotem weather.
That's prime Dotem weather.
Good pizza stealing weather is what it is. Won't get wet. The pies won't get soggy as you have 10 of them underneath your arm running to your car.
I'm so convinced there's going to be hot Sapphic play at the Dotem this year. I'm so convinced.
Why
of it.
would there be?
I don't know, I just tell myself this stuff.
No, but you think about it. There's a chance. I mean, the weather will be prime.
Right.
Obviously,
There's a lot of ladies playing.
Yeah, ton of ladies playing.
Are there any women playing?
Yeah. The Dotem also, you just have to
who's
think of the
playing?
energy.
Courtney Landrum
Oh, really?
of 106.5 The Arch, The Courtney Show, who is one of my favorite people in the building. And she was telling me yesterday, and we were talking so long, I was worried that I wasn't going to be back for break for...
As was I.
Oh, are you noticing that?
Yeah, well, my
But I
short
figured I was
update
talking by
started.
Mike Ryder, the executive producer, and I figured if I was late to come back on the air, he would tell me. So we were just out there talking about a new set of irons she bought. She's a golfer. She's just like our audience would love Courtney. So take a listen to her show. She's great. And she said, I'm playing in that tournament next week. And I said, it's great. She goes, but they made me pay. And I go, they made you pay? So I kind of want to go, what the? And just Venmo or I don't know, whatever the entry fee is.
Yeah.
So she's going to be out there, but she had to
No freebies anymore out here.
yeah. If you work in the building, you got to pay for your and she's got one of the top morning shows in the market. But either way, she's wonderful, and she will be there, and many will be as well. She may be the only female playing, but Doug, that's the pageantry of the Dotem.
I think so. It'll make her feel special. There's no other women that even dare go out there among those.
Anna Marie's going to be there both days.
Oh, is she really?
I think there's going to be a lot of ladies out there, and I think the energy of the Dotem kind of harbors Sapphic energy.
I agree with that.
I just don't get the connection there.
Oh, I do.
I don't get out much, so.
When you're around that kind of ball striking ability, it's a turn on for women.
Yeah.
I wonder if the Chop Chop Cheeky girls will be out there again.
I don't know. But I do know that there's just going to be male models left and right. That's what
will there be?
Yeah. In great shape, too. That's the key, is slim, taut men.
That's who this was marketed towards. Slim, taut men. Good luck finding them in this town.
Free passes to the Dotem. Who does she think she is? Ken Bootstrode. That's from Milagro Tequila, Listener of the Month. Brian Henshin. Guys, at the game last night, the BMI is about 10 points lower than Bush. Lots of Cards fans with Cubs nacho helmets. That's from Breast, and then parentheses, breasts.
Well, just because you're out of St. Louis doesn't mean you have to stop eating the nachos.
So, okay, I was thinking the Cardinals were out of town last night. But what Breasts is saying, Breast was at Wrigley, I gather, and then it's a thinner crowd than Busch Stadium. That's what Breast is saying.
But the Cardinal fans that were spotted were indeed eating nachos only out of Cubs helmets now.
You know, I think it would be great. You know, everybody, you have people that go to every stadium, knock it off as a bucket list item. I think it would be cool to eat a helmet nacho at every single stadium. Keep that helmet.
Yeah.
Make like a shadow box or hang them up in your man cave.
And have the memories of all those times you gained another 8 pounds.
And you'll have like old jalapenos still in there.
Some
and
old
cheese.
crusty cheese.
Ugh.
How many stadiums have you been to, Plowsy?
Been to Wrigley, been to Busch, and that'll do it.
Well, that's not a long list.
It's not a long list. Baseball's not really my jam.
But Doug, I'm going to guess you have been to,
I'd have to sit down and count them.
I'm going to say 14.
I'd have to count them. I don't think we want to hear me list them all off right
Yeah, we
now.
do.
Oh, Mike Francesa does the bowl listing. That's one of my favorite.
One,
that's right.
two.
Why you Dotem just sent in #Brian, and I like it. And I felt like I needed to read it.
Does it count? Did you have to see a game there, or could you just be at the stadium?
Nice question. I'm going to say at the stadium counts.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like a tour of Fenway would
Like
count.
I've been to the St. Petersburg Stadium there with a race play, but it was for a Christmas display. It wasn't for a baseball game.
And you would say it's the finest ballpark these eyes have ever seen, like Ned Beatty when he
Couldn't
walked
tell.
into Notre Dame Stadium.
Because they had an ice rink in the middle of it and
It's an
enormous
incredible
Christmas trees.
atmosphere when 12,000 people gather to see a team with a 800 winning percentage.
One, two,
There.
three,
Okay.
4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So you've probably done the gambit with TV. You done any West Coast swings?
Yeah, for playoff games.
Sure,
Dodger
we've
Stadium,
done
San
some Dodger
Francisco,
Stadium,
San Diego.
AT&T Park,
Yeah, hit all
Petco.
those.
Yeah,
Oakland for a football game. I
Been to
guess I
Seattle?
I have been to
I've
Seattle.
seen
as a-
that
as a
ballpark. I
fan
have
on
not
vacation.
gone to a game. Yeah, so you didn't go to a game at Safeco?
We did go to a game. Yeah.
Oh.
I think it'd be. I heard it was a really cool stadium. There.
It is.
They have
Very
great,
nice.
great energy in Seattle at their sporting events.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they do.
It's-
Good
The
buildings,
Kraken took
too.
one on the chin last night.
baseball and football stadiums right next to each other. Really, really beautiful places.
Young money.
That is young money.
Yeah, I guess I've been to more than I thought.
I think I've only been to 3.
I've never been to the city of Pittsburgh or the city of Milwaukee. How random is
I
that?
haven't been to Milwaukee either. It's the only big city I missed. Only one.
Should we do a remote?
Should we?
Why wouldn't we? Why wouldn't we go up there when the Cardinals clinch the division?
Hold
Nice.
Say
Plus
we won't.
750.
Say we won't.
Apparently, Pittsburgh's amazing.
Pittsburgh's a nice city.
Madison went there for work, and she says it is unreal.
It is. It's
like
a very nice city.
beautiful.
Uh-huh.
I've only been to 3 of the ballparks in the National League Central, but I've been to all the ballparks in the National League West. That's a Doug. You know what I call that? Watch this. Misnomer.
Oh, yeah.
So you're missing the Pirates in the Brewers Stadium?
I don't know how I would call it missing.
The Pirates, maybe.
I haven't been.
Yeah, haven't been.
It's kind of like when Claves came in here and he goes, "Yeah, I'm not going on those road trips."
Oh, Cincy? Nah.
Get involved on the program if you would like. 314-881 TMA5 EDF Group text inbox. EDF sponsor of the pre-party, and this pre-party is now officially 1 week away at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills. Oh my goodness, Doug! I also could see Sapphic play there at this point.
I just
That might
don't
be
know.
more likely.
Yeah, I mean
It
it's
may be more likely than the golf tournament because there's a dating game with Lisa Ann and everything. And,
that's right.
Booze will be fun.
you know,
I agree with that. It's just going to be next week is just going to be hot. That's what I am telling
it's
you.
really the only word that describes it.
It is hot, erotic. The EDF Group sponsoring the raffle the night before party as well as the party. The raffle prize, dinner for 4 at Olive and Oak with wine pairings, 4 field box tickets to a Cardinal game and a $250 gift card. And then the EDF Group is putting together the dinner for Lisa Ann and the winning couple for the Lisa Ann dating game yesterday, Juan from PP Corp and his fiancé. Doug, you catch that? Fiancé? See, like Juan. Fiancé.
Yeah, I got it.
Pretty good.
I don't think it's that good. I don't know.
Entered the Lisa Ann dating game And maybe they'll win. That could be a nice, formidable challenge for anybody in the Lisa Ann dating game next Wednesday, a week from tonight, at Maggie O'Brien's in Sunset Hills. Maggie O'Brien's, of course, also has the downtown location. No Doggies home game this coming Saturday. But you'll be able to enjoy that when the Cardinals return to town after a stop in Boston. And, of course, the Doggies come back. Maggie O'Brien's pre- and post-game. And then the Sunset Hills location, home of the Dotem pre-party. Was texting with that Eddie McVeigh yesterday.
Oh, yeah.
He was a wonderful gentleman, always entertaining. I gotta come through for his celebrity shot on number 5 this year. Everything has been built around getting back after shanking his partner's ball into the woods at Normandy.
So he wants you to take another shot for us.
He's going to come up and MF me about 20 times
Yeah.
and probably be talking in my backswing to intend to sabotage. And I think it could wind up resulting in an ace.
Yeah.
And the gallery is
we
going
saw
to
one
go
there last
at
year.
crap.
We saw,
We saw
an ace
one on 5?
wherever we were.
Were
We
you
were
12
or
12?
5.
Yeah. There's an ace.
Who was it?
Danny
Who got it?
Packer?
Danny Packer.
Yeah, Danny
Duh.
Packer,
I'm a Danny
that's right.
Packer lemming.
Yeah.
Maggie O'Brien's, the great Eddie McVeigh, and Appliance Discounter, sponsor of our 8 o'clock hour here on the program. If you're in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters and their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com. They have a great Mother's Day and Father's Day special going on at Appliance Discounters. The Bradley family, Doug and I, are both loyal shoppers there at Appliance Discounters. Would love for you to support the sponsors as well, the Appliance Discounters. Here's what they got going on for Mother's Day and Father's Day. It's not 1950 anymore, and you can get by with giving a gift of an appliance for Mother's Day or Father's Day. Give the gift that'll last, a Bosch dishwasher. It's practical. It'll make everyone's life easier, and it's stainless, and it's going to shine. While supplies last, in stock, inbox Bosch dishwashers at the lowest price. And Appliance Discounters will even throw in a replacement install for free online at theappliancediscounters.com. 5 locations in Missouri to serve you: Baldwin, Maplewood, St. Charles, Concord Plaza in South County, and Carondelet in the city. It's Appliance Discounters online at theappliancediscounters.com. So, Doug, the Cardinals get the win last night. Mm-hmm. And Jack Flaherty was the starter. You described it when we were in our pre-show meeting. You said he was shutting them down last night.
Well, he wasn't really.
Okay.
He walked 5.
He was throwing
He
flame.
gave up 3 runs. Went 5 innings, but nowadays starting pitcher goes 5. They'll take you out if you're throwing a shutout after 5 innings. So I guess that's all they want from anybody.
So he got into quite a situation last night. We would have had results-oriented Twitter fest had he given up a hit, and really, I think he may have. He just was lucky that it was Wrigley and the wind was not whipping out, because that ball was hammered to the warning track. And then he got out of the inning, bases loaded. I mean, it was 5 feet away from a grand slam, and absolute anarchy had he been left in the game. Yeah. Well, he was left in the game, but because he was left in the game. But, that flies under the radar. So he gets out of the inning. They immediately pull him. I really don't know about this. Chip Carey was talking about, they want him to get one more out. Brad Thompson said, well, the Cardinals don't care who has the win next to their name. I don't know, but at that point, I would have pulled him. He gets out of the inning with the ball hit to the warning track, courtesy of Wrigley May wins, and then was asked about his velocity, which did hover at times in the upper 80s, and that's when all hell broke loose in the monstrous Wrigley Field. That Wrigley Field visitors clubhouse is monstrous.
Yeah, it's tiny. I
It
think.
looked like a broom closet that they were in with
I
Flaherty.
remember the first time I walked into that thing. Now, I haven't been there in a while. And it reminded me of the locker room where Coach Norman Dale, Gene Hackman, delivered a wonderful speech to his boys.
Like there's nails on the wall for their clothes to
Right.
hang on.
Right. I was like, oh, God. Jack Flaherty, not in a great mood. Then Derek Gould, it sounded like they were getting ready to scrap. That's what it sounds like. You got to listen closely. We'll replay it. Have you heard this?
No.
I get up and I watch the Bally's app pregame. The challenge of that, but I always get there, and wow, here you go. Take a listen.
Okay, I'd like to hit the leave it button.
The velocity on your fastball is down a little. The next time somebody wants to mention the velocity of my fastball, I'm not going to answer another question about, I'm going to play with the velocity of my fastball based on what the game calls for. So I can get outs at 90, I can get outs at 95. gonna play with it. I've always played with it. I've thrown freaking fastballs at 87 before in games when I've been at my best. Like, I'm not answering questions on. I'm just saying, because y'all want to make a big deal out of it, and I'm tired of it. Like, I'm not. It's so ridiculous. Like, I'm gonna go for what the game calls for, and that's part of pitching. So if you want to ask about it, you don't understand the art of pitching. Like, I'm gonna go with what the situation calls for, what the game calls for. But you have to manage pitch counts. You have to manage the way that the game goes. Like, there's certain times where you up it, and you're gonna start seeing 4, 5, 6, and there's certain times you might be able to be like, okay, here, situation calls for it, you bump it back up. It's the way the game goes. So that's the way that you go about the game.
We don't know that unless we ask, Jack. We don't know.
Well, then you don't understand pitching, and that's okay.
Say that again.
I'm sorry?
I'm sorry. You said I don't understand the pitching.
That's the way that
we just don't feel like we should guess. We want your answer so we can quote you and give it to the fans.
Okay, Derek. Whatever you say.
For the record, I asked that because in the broadcast they were saying there are times when a pitcher will throw at a certain velocity with the fastball for certain reason. They were discussing it. That's why I asked.
I appreciate it, Jim. I appreciate it. Yeah.
This is a guy that...
This team is becoming unraveled, even when they win.
The highlight to me, I really like. I don't know if you can edit it, Plowboy. The exchange between Derek Gould in between the Cats questions was. It sounded like Derek was ready to go. That's what it sounded like. Now I think Derek,
I don't think Jack Flaherty would be the guy you'd want to go with.
I was about to say, but that's what it sounded like. And then I know you are, but what am I? That's what it said. That also went on. I mean, I was texting with Jackson to pull that audio, 6 in the morning, and I said, "There's not enough money in the world to get me to sit there and do that crap at this point in my life and career." It's such a dehumanizing thing.
There are times when there is no question you can possibly ask.
Except they won the game, and he was pissy at the outset. Here's my overarching theory, and this is how I go into Jack Flaherty interviews at this point. Is he knows he's got a problem, and the problem being an injured shoulder, and had the injury not happened, even though he has not been near what he ever was in the second half of 2019 since. Because that was as dominant as I've seen a Cardinal pitcher. God, man, I don't know. I mean, that was
historic. That
was what. Yeah. That was. I remember Jake Arrieta with the Cubs in 2015. You're like, you just can't beat him. That's what Flaherty reminded me of in the back half of 2019. With that all said, so he's got a slap tear in his throwing shoulder. He hasn't hit free agency, and so he never got the big dollars. So he is trying to pitch through it, no matter what. And I'm sure, and I don't blame him for this, whatever career it is, you're trying to get to the point where you get financial reward. And so, therefore, because he has a damaged shoulder, he is not going to be able to throw as hard as he can. So when he's asked about it, and he has trouble with control because his mechanics are off because of that, he is going to be super sensitive about it. And so that is what that was about last night. And that's what it's going to be about throughout the course of the year, because when the time comes for free agency, if he does get there healthy, and healthy certainly has quotes around it, considering his set of circumstances. In other words, no further injury. That is something certainly his agent is going to have to deal with. What was the deal with his velocity? What was the deal with his control this year? And it's going to cost him money. But he is just trying to, and I get it, get to a, I don't know, what do you think he's going to get on the open market? I know we're just totally guessing here. Do you think he gets a 4-year deal?
Yeah. God, I don't know.
I know.
I don't know.
It just depends on how hard up the market is. This is a good market in the offseason for starting pitching, just like it's been a great market the last couple of years for shortstops, but Cardinals are good. So he may be the beneficiary of the market going up because of who's out there, or it might be tough because he's certainly not going to be one of the top 3 arms that are out there as a starting pitcher. Point being, that is what I believe. I don't know this. That is what I believe is why he is Banty. Do you have the clip?
Roughly, I have where I think it is.
All right.
Give or take, so bear with me.
Go about the game.
We don't know that unless we ask, Jack. We don't know.
Well, then you don't understand pitching, and that's okay.
Say that again.
I'm sorry?
And if you just calling him out
again. You want to say that again? Oh, my God. That's like what I say to my son when he pops off.
Unbelievable. True. I couldn't believe what I was listening to.
So then Ali Marmol is asked about it. And Doug, we have this one. Fortunately, we now have two different sets of stories. Here's what Ali Marmol had to say when asked.
Okay, I'd like to hear that. Hit the lever
It looked like his velocity was not great.
Yeah, there's times where it was 88, 89, and then a couple pitches later he'd pop a 94, but it was in and out of that. Yeah, I agree.
So any explanation for that?
Not at the moment. It's something. Yeah, something. Have a conversation with Jack and see, but no, at the moment, not really.
So Ali Marmol also does not understand the art of pitching.
No. Say that again?
I'm sorry.
This is
Followed with another I'm sorry. It's unbelievable.
That locker room crumbling. And they are on a 3-game heater, but it just seems like they all hate each other and hate this, and they just want to go.
There's such a negative vibe, even when they win. Well, Wainwright has proven you can be effective pitching 88, 89. But
Andy Bennis, remember Dandy Beans came back out of retirement?
Yeah, you also have to have a curveball that drops 6 feet to pitch
Right,
like that.
that's the key.
And that didn't used to be Flaherty. He used to be a high-velocity guy.
Right.
But if he can mix in 94, 95 along with the 88, then he could be effective with that. But he hadn't found the formula yet.
No, and to that point too, it's like I kind of agree with Derek in the sense that like he can't guess why you were changing up your velocity like that. You kind of have to ask that question because the fans don't know why you're changing up the velocity.
My
That's
guess
a fair
is,
question.
for the purpose of the audience here, and you know this, Doug, unless they've changed the protocol, you go into the manager first.
Yeah.
So they ask about the velocity. Ali Marmol says he doesn't know. It's something they're going to look into. You heard that audio. So then they go to the guy who was throwing and ask about it. And obviously, it's a sore subject. And I gave you my reasoning for why I believe it is a sore subject. I think all it does is draw more attention to it. So it's counterproductive for his free agency. But, that's how he's chosen to handle it. And then he and Derek Gould have the exchange. Do we have that, Plowhawk, the exchange?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, we'd like to hear the exchange, Plowhawk.
I'm just switching to
Okay, just switch it over.
The computer is actually very slow.
Wait on the computer. Wait for it. Wait for it.
has
Buffering.
Is it buffering?
It's spinning.
Oh, no, like dial-up, like my AOL, when I would try to get to PersianKitty.com in 97.
Oh.
In pitching, and that's okay.
Say that again.
In pitching, and that's okay.
Say that again.
Oh, God.
Like they were going to
something
fight?
you hear at Yankee Stadium or at Citi Field or at Fenway or whatever the hell they're calling the ballpark the Phillies play in.
Citizens
Is it
Bank.
still Citizens Bank?
I'm pretty sure, yeah.
Good long-term sponsorship deal there. That's good.
Well, Flaherty was on pace for, if you kind of look at what people are signing, probably 180, 200 million after 2019.
Oh,
With
yeah.
the age, the upside, and he may get 4-year, 48 million, maybe. I don't even know
Even
if
that
that's
would be
even.
that would be risky. at this
I
point,
would
wouldn't it?
agree.
I know, but the way some of these teams are,
Yeah.
doing the opposite of the Cardinals and throwing it around, and you're going, wonder what the P&L looked like when they ran those numbers. But yeah, I would agree. Obviously, at this point, he's just not the same guy, and there is a reason for it. So, and then you look and you see the velocity, and you also see the control issues, and I'm telling you, he is very fortunate they were playing where they were playing last night. So is Ali Marmol. This show is a show that doesn't kink shame, and Doug, you are.
I do.
You're proud of that tenet, but on Balloon Party, we are not results oriented, and we're also pro liberty on that show. That's a big tenet of that program, and if you're not results oriented, and you were watching that last night, Jack Flaherty was very fortunate that and Ali Marmol very fortunate that the wind was doing what it was doing at Wrigley, and it wasn't warm. Because that was a grand slam in a lot of places. And I was truly surprised that they didn't bring Palante in. They had old Dusty Blake come out there, Doug, and he was a pitching coach with the Yankees for 4 years, and then he was with the Giants.
I think this is his first go-around.
Okay, I got a different bio. And I'm like, okay, they're buying time. This is usually like back in the day, Molina would go out there and, mess around, and the umpire would come in, and then Palante would come in. And then they left him in. And there's a drive. But the old hawk knocked her down, and Jack gets the Cardinals out of the inning, and the Cardinals get the win with Paul DeJong with the home run. But, oh, God, had that ball gone out for a grand slam, I don't know who people would have been more mad at.
Flaherty.
Flaherty, just because...
Or Garrett Gould, who apparently doesn't know anything about pitching. Well, some of it, I suppose, could be written up to law of averages catching up. They're just bound to get some breaks at some point, and they got the break with the win last night.
Right.
They got the break with Kisner's pop fly falling in right field.
Little bloop.
Everything went against them there for weeks.
Yeah.
It's just now the breaks maybe starting to go their way a little bit.
Mario in Chicago, Doug, you know him. He's one of the Pandolfos.
Well, sure.
And they're at war with the Henschels.
They appear to be, yeah.
Dude, you like when a text starts out that way?
No, I don't. Or, that's even worse.
The way I tweet from my burners.
Right.
Dude, I was at the game last night, and holy hell, did Suzuki hammer that. Also, the Cardinals crowd during weekday games is skinny, but man, when the July weekend game comes, are the fats out in full force. That's Mario observing the BMIs in Chicago. I didn't know this was a hot topic.
That actually kind of surprised me. I think that the hotter it is, the more thinner people would be there.
I don't know, during the week, well, you have to make a road trip, so you have to have a job you could take some time off.
Right.
So maybe you got your act together a little bit if you got the money to follow the Cardinals on a road trip. So maybe you're kind of spunky. Maybe you're kind of slim and trim and have a nice job and doing all right.
Sure.
As opposed to just plopping down with the helmet nachos in the bleachers on Saturday and Sunday.
Mario in Chicago with a follow-up. Every crowd is skinnier than a St. Louis crowd. The Cardinal fans are significantly fatter than most visitors, besides the other fat cities in the National League Central. It's from Mario in Chicago.
Which city
one of the fat cities? I would assume Milwaukee. Cincinnati's got to be live. Southern Ohio. I don't know about Pittsburgh. Haven't been.
Alabama, I think, at the highest
Alabama has a
obesity
club.
rate.
Mississippi, but they don't have teams. I guess Atlanta?
Regardless,
I don't care about teams.
You think Atlanta has
That was
a
the
heavy set?
discussion, though. We were talking about the NL Central, and Alabama came out of your mouth.
Kansas City, would they be any better off than we are?
I think they're the same.
No, Kansas City's much more active.
They are?
What reasoning is that?
I've been to Kansas City, and they're not as fat.
Fair enough. Fair enough.
Mario, I was in section 220. We should have met up in the bathroom. Bummer. That's from Brest.
Oh.
Everyone I know who lives in Chicago, who's from St. Louis, was at the game the past
right?
2 nights. Everybody.
It looked like there was
They all-
Sweet Kai.
No, he hasn't lived there.
Used to be you couldn't get a seat for a Cardinal Cub game. It looked like there were plenty of
It
seats.
did look like that.
Weekday, I feel like it'd be more like a week series.
I guess. It used to be every time the Cardinals went up there, thousands of people would make that trek.
Should we go to the game in London when they play the Cubs? London Stadium?
Well, we probably should, and then come back and get ready to put our homes up on Airbnb because all the London tourists.
Right.
Correct.
Take a look at the
What do you think you think the crowds will be thinner at that one in London?
thinner than in Wrigley Field.
Or Busch?
Oh yeah, it'll be a thin crowd.
The thinner people live in Chicago. The fats from Arnold come out in July to eat some of the deep dish pizza and helmet nachos. It's Mario in Chicago, Doug, and he is very active in the
Look,
idiot
I
group
think I'm
texting
a
box.
slightly disagree. If you've been to Bear games, there is a huge contingent of big old burly boys.
Yeah, they know how to eat in Chicago.
They know how to
Yeah,
eat.
they know how to
Don't-
eat in Chicago.
Don't tell me they're eating kale salads on a Friday evening. That
But it
that's
is like
bogus.
the city center, I would say, is a little more young than St. Louis.
Well, because they have to walk to get to places. In St. Louis, you don't have to do any of that.
Yeah,
you don't
it's
have
the
to do
truth.
anything.
Doug, could you think of a worse dish to eat when it's about 98 degrees than a deep dish pizza?
Oh, Bill, wash it down.
Well, if you're hungry enough, deep dish pizza sounds pretty good regardless of how hot it
Wings,
is.
spicy wings.
Chairman Steve in Wildwood won the April Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month. Right now, I feel like Buck Swope is the leader. Of course, Arbor Day. We don't know the real Arbor Day and whether or not he's sending in to apply or not. Chairman Steve says, I disagree. Balloon Party is not pro-liberty. It's communist. He is still banty over Jackson editing his mic drop from 2 days ago.
Well,
And he
should
believes
never
it's
have done
a
it.
communist program, and he's still calling Jackson Vladdy. He says, Vladdy is right. All my son's friends were at the game last night. That's Chairman Steve in Wildwood, Milagro Tequila. Jackson, would you like to issue a response to Chairman Steve?
Well, I'm not responding to Vladdy, that name. That's just not me. That's not I. But it's been discussed on Balloon Party that I am anti-liberty, so...
You are?
Yeah, so I guess, sorry. But yeah, all my friends who are at the... who live in Chicago are at the Cardinal Cub game. They love it. I've never been to Wrigley. I gotta go.
It's
Really? You've never
really
been to Wrigley
fun,
Field?
man.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that's a great ballpark.
I know. I gotta go see it. I gotta go. I've only been to 3, and one of them is no longer around.
You want to
Shea
know?
Stadium.
Bush 2?
No, Shea Stadium. Knocked down. That's where I caught a ball from David Wright.
Oh, really?
Ooh, that's
David
a good
Wright
one.
hit one right back to me.
Oh, how do you
caught
do?
it.
Yeah, caught it.
Oh,
Snagged
that,
it.
really?
Hit my cousin in the arm, and I stole it.
How old were you at the time?
7?
Did you give the ball back to your cousin who took the hit?
Hell no.
Nice.
Finders keepers.
I like Jackson getting a spot on the YouTube screen, but I think he's also going to take a COVID vacation if He's also going to take a COVID vacation if Kobe Brown really enters the transfer portal. That's from Larry Thornton. Jackson, is that...
Dude, college basketball
See, he
Twitter.
said he didn't like do, but then he started it with...
It's a fake story.
College basketball Twitter is the most outrageous place. These people who like have like GIFs as their avatars, like tweet out Kobe Brown might be transferring, and everyone goes bananas. Like, it gives somebody with some credence if they print that and say, "Hey, Kobe might be moving." Also, Kobe's going to go in like the mid-second round of the NBA draft, so all that is moot.
Well,
But
you
even
go, right?
if he
It'd be a
didn't
second
get
rounder.
but if he didn't get drafted, I would be shocked, absolutely shocked if he transferred. Shocked. Why
He
would he
took
do
Kentucky, where he would just be he's a really good player, but they have 4 of the best. They're probably one of the best recruiting classes in history coming in next year.
Yeah.
Like, he's just going to be a guy.
that? He's not going. He's going to go play in the NBA and make
Yeah.
a lot of money.
Yeah, don't
I
take
guess
a
he
COVID
seems like a
vacation.
borderline NBA guy to me.
Yeah, if he was 2 inches taller, I'd be no doubt. But with that quickness, his incredible footwork, he can shoot it from the outside. He's an NBA player. But he's not. He would not transfer. I don't care if Trilly Donovan or whoever that Twitter account is says so.
Poor Jackson, he missed the real Wrigley Field. The Ricketts family's ruined that park. That's from Danny's in Wentzville. I haven't been to Wrigley in a while. What's happened? Have you been there recently?
No, I just, from what I see on TV, I think they got a new scoreboard, don't they? And they redid the bleachers a little bit.
Bleachers.
I don't know how he could ruin the park.
I remember when I went to Wrigley, my only time I went to Wrigley was D-Dub's bachelor party.
D-Dub?
And that was the first time I met Deke Dotem in person.
Dotem.
Because I was at a bar and he messaged me and said, "Hey, are you in Chicago?" I said, "Yeah, I'm, in Wrigleyville or somewhere around the area." He met me.
Really?
We smoked a pen together.
A pen?
Shook hands and...
A Bic pen?
No, it was a
Fountain
vape pen. But yeah, I remember that
pen.
vividly, my first time meeting Dotem.
Jackson, you do have a Power Mizzou account, right? Gabe is hearing things. I know the Plowhawk has one.
I do have a Power Mizzou
I haven't
account.
been logged
Gabe is
in.
hearing things. Doug, Gabe is hearing things.
What's he
My
doing?
God.
Uh-oh, Jackson. Oh, Jackson's
This is
wobbly. He
exasperating.
doesn't
I
get
don't
one.
know
He
if
usually
it
gets
is.
wobbly from 10 to 11.
Just college. I can't stand college sports Twitter in general is so toxic. It's unbelievable.
Got to drop by Power Mizzou right now.
I didn't honestly look because I saw that and I was like, what are we talking about? Like, what are you talking about? I would be, but I've seen him move up draft boards. I've seen actual NBA scouts say, or people who follow NBA scouts say that he's moving up the boards. So I would just be shocked. If that did happen, yeah, consider me despondent.
You would be despondent.
Yeah.
Crestfallen?
All of the above.
Really?
Uh-oh, I'm going to read from the Colonel's writings. I don't think this will happen, but I also don't want you guys to be completely blindsided in case it does. I've had 3 or 4 people in the last week reach out and ask if I'm hearing that Kobe Brown could enter the portal. These are people who cover other SEC schools. I can absolutely tell you there are schools that have back-channeled to try to convince Kobe to enter the portal. Same thing happened last year. Everything he says is that he loves Missouri. I believe if he plays college basketball next year, it'll be at Missouri. But there are definitely people trying, and I'm hearing figures thrown around of up to 1 million. Is that true? I don't know. I think a lot of the numbers that are being thrown around for NIL are fictitious, but whatever. There it is. There's the Colonel.
Yeah, no matter who you are, no matter what your situation is, if somebody's going to throw a lot of money at you to transfer, people will consider it.
Colonel
Right.
says, again, I have to stress, I do not really think he will do it.
Right. And I think that that's the key. And also, anytime it's like Kobe Brown might transfer the portal, you have to think who benefits from Kobe Brown entering the transfer portal. Who can put those stories, but what teams? Like, who would put that in there? And the more Kobe or someone would hear that, the more they would consider it.
Well, if you were him and there was a chance you were going to get $500,000, $700,000 to transfer to a school, you'd
yeah,
do it.
I mean, I get it, but I would just be, I'm just saying Kobe had opportunities to transfer last year and he didn't.
He's got great
Well,
value now.
Yeah, the money might be better now than it was last year.
That's very fair. If he's not playing in the NBA, I would be shocked if he transferred.
Would you take a COVID vacation?
You would
No,
deserve one.
I'd power through it, but I wouldn't be happy about it. It would reflect in my work.
They'd finally want to talk Missouri basketball and balloon party if it happened, I can assure you.
Yeah, then it would be, let's kick it off with Mizzou hoops. Jerks.
Stan Kroenke doesn't kick in anything towards the NIL at Mizzou, does he?
No. I would be surprised.
Because he could afford a superstar team right there in Columbia if he wanted to.
Yeah. They just changed up the NIL laws for Missouri.
They
and
did.
They are
You see that?
favorable. They are
Yeah.
very favorable for the state of Missouri. So that is at least good.
Comrade Burkett won't hear of any rumors contrary to his wood-inducing Mizzou wet dreams. That's from the 636.
Gosh.
Comrade.
So stupid.
Gosh.
Maybe you folks should be a fan of a team. It's a lot more fun.
Let him have it.
It's a lot more fun to like
Rip 'em.
enjoy the teams you like as opposed to always just crapping on them.
I
Now
don't
you're going
know.
after the plow.
I'm not like.
But I'm a diehard Illinois fan, diehard Packers fan, but I also will revert to bashing our rivals or teams that I feel.
Right, and that's totally fine. I get that.
You like
But,
to bash the Cardinals.
Well, I do hate watch them. I'll give you that. It's probably not.
I just can't imagine it's fun.
It
Like,
isn't.
Like it's just more fun to root for a team.
Guys, it sounds like Jackson's about to cry on the That's some Crystal City Clam.
And he just got out of my worst four
Yeah, he was in your
texters.
Mount Rushmore worst texters.
And he left. And
now he's back in?
He might.
So it's the Mount Rushmore of your worst texters.
Harrison's brother Master is in the class of his own. St. Charles Hermaphrodite doesn't really text all that much, but he's in there. Or they, I don't know. And I guess Crystal City Clamhammer, welcome back.
He's
and
back
then,
in.
And then the Jeffco gentleman.
There it is.
Or just the unnamed, the people who have like 3 total texts in their history.
Oh, from the burner numbers?
Yeah, exactly. I'll just put that in there.
This Crystal City Hermaphrodite, what exactly is his medical condition?
St. Charles Hermaphrodite.
St. Charles.
Well, Hermaphrodite has both parts.
Flip that off.
I think there's some animals that are like hermaphrodites, like worms maybe are all hermaphrodites.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
We'll talk a little bit more about that on Balloon Party. Carlos Spicewiener says the old Wrigley Field only served god-awful old-style beer, but I still think you get to pee in a trough next to insufferable Cub fats. That's from Carlos Spicewiener. Chairman Stephen Wildwood says Wrigley Field's more commercial now. They have a ballpark village feel around the stadium. Is that right, really? I guess I haven't been there in a while to know.
I never understood why they still deal with the ancient clubhouses. I mean,
The Cubs have a brand new one.
Yeah,
The home team does.
Why not give it to the visitors as well? Just dig underneath. I mean, there are subways, there are cities underneath our street level in some major metropolitan areas. You couldn't just dig a little bit underneath and create a decent clubhouse?
Is it like a tactical advantage to have your opponent like in a closet?
It is
don't
unbelievable.
know.
And Fenway's, I mean, I haven't been in Fenway's in a while, but Fenway's is, I felt like Wrigley's was smaller. You've been in both those, right?
I've not been I've been to both places, but I've not been in either clubhouse.
Fenway, it wasn't like I was in there for a long time, but the Wrigley one like I said, I've been there in a while, but you couldn't believe it. As tiny as that thing was for all those people. It's more fun to huddle up in a Tennessee cabin with 15 guys than to root for loser SEC basketball teams. Wait, it's more fun to do both. That's Eric in the Central West End.
Gosh.
He's becoming bandy, Doug, and you played Native American ball with his...
I did.
Oh.
I was usually the outfielder, and his dad, Jim, was usually the infielder.
Loser SEC basketball team that finished 4th in the SEC when they were predicted to finish 11th.
Wow, Eric, the action's back on you, sir.
No, I mean...
It sounds like you're just not going to take it anymore.
I know. I just think it's really cool when people crap on other things that other people really like. Like, I think it's super healthy and just really
Well, no, that's
shows
satire.
mental fortitude. No, I'm being authentic.
I don't know about that.
They're coming for you now.
Oh, they're ready.
They're coming for you now.
I know that Mizzou basketball couldn't be further away from playing right now. Like, just let me live.
Yeah, you got Drinkwitz on your radar.
Focus on him.
Yeah, South Dakota's coming to town, Doug. That's only 3 months away.
And to come out as pro-Russia right now is weird.
Bad time.
You got an invite here from the very active today, Mario in Chicago. Love you, Jackson. I want to come to Chicago, but instead of hanging in the city, let's drive 5 hours to Deliverance Country with 20 other guys. It's Mario in Chicago. So I thought that was an invite.
Yeah.
It doesn't seem like it.
I had a great time in Tennessee. I don't care if people can crap on all they want. I really enjoyed myself.
Did you?
Absolutely.
And there was no deliverance type situations there, were there?
Not that I saw. I wasn't involved in any if they were occurring.
You run into any river people down there?
No.
Hill people.
No, some fats. There were
Did you?
fats. Yeah. But
Nice.
you can see that anywhere in this great union.
Sure.
Let's see. Jackson has gone full heel. That's from Linda the Beehole.
How have I gone full heel? Everyone craps on me.
You're
It's like, oh, look at
sympathetic to-
Jackson, he's full heel.
You're sympathetic to the Russian cause all of a sudden.
I think that's what's really getting the listeners.
Yeah.
Is the Russian thing?
Jackson gets bent out of shape when people make fun of Mizzou basketball in the film industry. It's hilarious. Got to be better, kid. That's from Jenny, and then her last name is Talia. Italian girl.
Yeah, she emailed in yesterday.
I had enough money for the things he said to my b-hole.
Oh.
He named it Linda.
God, was she dancing around while she was saying that stuff?
Yeah, at the beginning she was, then just kind of ran out of breath and finished the story that her hole had been named Linda.
Oh.
What a unique name for a hole, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. Any name would be unique because most people don't give names to that particular orifice.
Fair. It's fair. Pound Linda. Pound Linda.
Oh.
Why is Vladimir Burkett so passive-aggressive? Say it with your chest, boy. That's from Jabab the Bookie.
What?
Say it with your chest.
Do you have him whispering over here? Can you not hear me?
Let him have it.
I think Jackson gets trouble solely because he's a positive outlook guy in his 20s. We're all jealous because we're near 40, tired and grumpy all the time. Thanks, that's from the Crestwood Coyote. What about that, Doug? Was that a moment of...
It's not accurate. Some of us are closer to 70 than 40.
5/10/2023, the day our sweet Jackson cracked. It happens to all the producers. Plowsy used to be a fun-loving twink, and now he's an angry, blowhard twink. That's Flip Wilson.
I've seen that text come in like many times before where it's like, oh, we finally made Jackson crack. I'm like, I'm fine. Just...
And they're bringing up...
The poor next guy who's going to go from happy and walking in here, even when he's not supposed to be here, is poor KG in O-Town. I can already see it. Doug, I've seen a lot of innocent boys enter this program, come out as grizzled, hateful men, and leave the industry and work for the sanitation department.
Well, they bring up like somebody who I was like 8 years... You're talking... There's a difference between you're right when you get out of college to really realizing what adult life is 10 years after. And just... You know, fun-loving self turned to crap.
Right. And when you're involved in this show, producers age like presidents.
Hey, look at my hairline.
Yeah. Yeah, this is...
They come in robust and healthy and full of energy, and they leave just shallow, broken men. Some of them have lost like 20% of their body weight. Clothes don't fit anymore. And they just sadly slump-shouldered exit the business.
And work for the sanitation department.
Take cash payment at a parking lot in downtown St. Louis. I mean, it's terrible. I find Jackson to be a delight and filled with a self-awareness at a young age that I still lack. Hang in there, buddy. Look at that from Arbor Day.
Shout out Arbor Day.
Shout out Arbor Day.
Shout out, yeah.
Great person. I don't know, fraudulent Lager Tequila Listener of the Month submission, but quality human being.
Life has already beaten and broken me. That's from KG in O-Town officially issuing a statement that they can't get him.
Yeah, that's a different story.
Mr. Licks just sent in a picture of the Kim Anderson press conference. He's really now firing the nuclear.
Dark day. That was a dark day.
He is firing the heavy artillery. Doug, Ryan Kelly fires the heavy artillery to get your loan closed in 10 days. The home loan expert.
Yeah, that's the guarantee. These are not easy times to buy a house with rates high, but Ryan Kelly can help you through that. And as he says, you marry the house, you only date the rate.
That's
so
right,
if you see the house that you like, but the interest rate frightens you a little bit, just go ahead and get the house if that's your dream house, because you can refinance that rate when rates come back down, and you'll be in good shape. Don't let the house get away. The process not as complicated as you might think with the home loan expert. They make the pre-approval process so very easy. So get pre-approved today, the day you call in, and they will also provide a lower rate with that famous 10-day closing guarantee. Or if you're just looking to refinance, people are taking on more debt than ever. If you're a homeowner, leverage your equity, get rid of that debt, put the equity in your home to work for you with a simple cash-out refinance with the Home Loan Expert. I have done that very thing twice with the Home Loan Expert. The whole process,
super easy.
Very easy, very simple, not a hassle at all. He's got great people working for him and with him, and he'll take good care of you, as he did with me. That's the Home Loan Expert, Ryan Kelly. Thank you, Sir Mortgage.
There it is. TheHomeLoanExpert.com. Ryan Kelly, title sponsor of this program for a decade. I'm telling you, the value of refinancing with Ryan Kelly to take care of their credit card debt is absolutely gold. And also James Carlton of the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency, 314-961-4800. Go online at carltoninsurance.net. He is my insurance agent. He saved the day for me and my family this past weekend. Had a flat tire situation. My wife was out with our 5-year-old and was stuck. And James, I texted him, and he was on it right away and helped us through the process on a Saturday afternoon at 3 o'clock. Absolutely phenomenal what was going on with the great James Carlton. But it's not just unique to me. That's what he does. That's why there are 310 five-star reviews for James Carlton and the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. It's James Carlton, carltoninsurance.net, located in Webster Groves, local, responsive, proactive. That's what I would say about James Carlton and his staff. It's James Carlton with the Carlton State Farm Insurance Agency. We will wrap up our Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. Come back with the appliance discounters, 8 o'clock hour. Send your emails in for our Design, Air, Heating, and Cooling email today. 2 tickets to the Cardinals Illini night on May 17th. How about that for the prize? Plowhawk, you might be emailing.
That's not terrible.
Yeah. We have a TMA app contest, the only facial, to win a Mother's Day package to give to a special lady in your life. You can find them in Clayton, University City, and De Pere, and a new location opening this summer in St. Charles. That's on the TMA app, tmastl.com. That's all there for you as well. The only facial, a great Mother's Day gift. If you have not taken care of Mother's Day, it is coming up this Sunday. So, well, go to the Only Facial. That would be the perfect place to do it. Gentlemen, this Sunday is Mother's Day. Are you the husband or son that's always struggling to find the perfect gift for your wife or mother? Our friends at the Only Facial have the perfect Mother's Day solution for you. For just $125, your special someone will receive a 60-minute signature facial gift certificate packaged in a beautiful pink box filled with self-care items that she's sure to love. The Only Facial makes beautiful skin simple. They specialize in one signature facial process customized to an individual's skin type. Their focus is on meaningless maintenance and real progress toward long-lasting, beautiful skin, regardless of age or skin type. No upselling, no tipping, no solicitation of products. Their signature facial treatment would cost you significantly more at other spas and salons. The Only Facial has 3 locations. You can find them in Clayton, University City, and De Pere, and a new location opening this summer in St. Charles. For information, visit their website at theonlyfacial.com. We'll close out the Munganess, St. Louis Acura and Alton Toyota, 7 o'clock hour. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
The Dotem After Party at the Normandy Pavilion will happen both days after the tournament, May 18th and 19th. Brought to you by CJC Transport. We improve transportation bottom line, one load at a time. After 18 holes of golf, come hang with your buds and TMA guys for food, drinks, and fun. And nudity, or at least most of those things. While you're there, get you a CJC Transport cocktail, smash burgers from Rockstar Tacos, and the fine folks from Evolution Festival will be on site sampling 9 different bourbons and whiskeys, like Yellowstone Select Bourbon, Rebel 100 Straight Rye Whiskey, and more. Plus, CJC Transport will be hosting a single long putt challenge with your chance to score $2,500. The Dotem After Party. Find out more at tmastl.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan, and right now, this is a unique time with regards to the market. People are paying attention to interest rates, and I'm here with Ryan Kelly. And Ryan, what can you tell our listeners about this moment in American history?
Perfect time to buy a house.
Yeah.
That's for sure. And I know when I first say that, it just seems a little crazy. But think about this. Last year, $400,000 house, multiple offers coming in. You might have paid $450,000, $475,000 for that house. Now today, it's officially a buyer's market. So that $400,000 house, you might be able to get it for $375,000 or even $350,000. So when you think about that, knowing that you can get a house significantly less today than a year ago, I mean, that's a win-win, right? And mortgage rates are definitely a little higher than they were a year ago. But at thehomeloanexpert.com, we have a saying: you marry the house, you date the rate, you fall in love with the house. You're going to be there for a while, but chances are we'll refinance you and get that rate and that payment down low. So got questions, ready to get pre-approved? Let's talk. It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan. I am here with a wonderful sponsor of TMA, and that is Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. And this is something that I experienced, as a matter of fact, years ago. If you get a call from an insurance agency, if you were in an accident, they are not necessarily working on your side. Isn't that right?
Yeah, Tim. I mean, in almost every case, there's going to be an insurance company involved. You know, they typically insure whoever caused the injuries to you by the person or the business that caused it. And unfortunately, from the moment your case begins, the insurance company is actually working against you, trying to minimize their payout. You might get a call from somebody who seems like to be a really nice person who's just trying to see how you're doing, but their goal is actually to get some information out of you to turn around and use it later to show that you're not as hurt as you actually are. Insurance companies have specialized systems and thousands of workers who follow a playbook to pay you as little money as possible when you're hurt. This is Doug Biggs, and my injury law firm hates insurance companies and their deceitful tactics, and we'll make a fair fight out of it. Visit our website or Google Longo Biggs Injury Law.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229 or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalitas Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalitas is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalitas has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalitas cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalitas.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan with Doug Vaughn to tell you about a new TMA sponsor, and that sponsor is Green Envy, a locally owned and operated company that can take great care of your lawn this spring. They've been in business, Doug, in St. Louis for over a decade.
Well, they know the conditions that exist here in Missouri. It's hard to have a perfect lawn in Missouri. It gets really cold, it gets really hot, it gets really wet, and then really dry. If you don't have people that know what the conditions are like in Missouri, you're going to have trouble. But Green Envy, these people have got it figured out, I tell you.
Yeah, they really do. They treated my lawn earlier this month, and they can do the exact same thing for you. And Green Envy is a company that both Doug and I are using to make sure that our lawns look absolutely spectacular this coming spring and summer. You can work with Green Envy as well. 636-757-1600. That's 636-757-1600. Green Envy.
If your business needs shipping and logistics solutions, then CJC Transport is here for you. CJC Transport is a family-owned St. Louis business that specializes in LTL, full truckload, hotshot, flatbed, intermodal, and container import-export across the lower 48, Canada, and Mexico. CJC Transport prides itself in its great rates, but more importantly, its exceptional customer service that is readily available to answer your questions and optimize your supply chain solutions. Call Tom at 314-322-0627 or visit CJCtransport.com.
Mother's Day is this weekend. Shopping for mom is always tough. What do you give to the person who has given you and your family everything? This year, give the gift that will mean more than anything, and give the gift that will last forever. And that gift is a Sound Story. Sound Story is a 1-hour interview professionally produced at the Hubbard Studios here in St. Louis. The way it works is your mom picks the date, the person she wants to do the interview, and then comes into the studio for a conversation about her life, the lessons she's learned, and the family she loves. And right now, for Mother's Day, enter promo code TMA for 20% off a Sound Story gift card at mysoundstory.com. With a gift card to Sound Story, you're able to take care of Mother's Day shopping in a matter of minutes, and you're able to give a gift that lasts a lifetime. Mom will love the experience of sharing her stories, and your family, both today and years from now, will love to have the stories saved forever. Just go to mysoundstory.com, enter promo code TMA at checkout, and save 20% off your Sound Story gift card, and give Mom the perfect Mother's Day gift. If you are planning to shave strokes this summer while looking good and staying cool, then be sure you are wearing Holderness & Bourne. Holderness & Bourne offers premium golf gear that blends classic style with modern fit and performance. H&B's look is more polished than other golf polos because the sleeves won't hang past your elbows and the fabric won't crowd around the shoulder, so you can swing free and easy. Enjoy 15% off your next order at hbgolf.com with the promo code TMA15 and feel the difference in Holderness & Bourne's premium golf apparel.
The Dotem After Party at the Normandy Pavilion will happen both days after the tournament, May 18th and 19th. Brought to you by CJC Transport. We improve transportation bottom line, one load at a time. After 18 holes of golf, come hang with your buds and TMA guys for food, drinks, and fun. And nudity, or at least most of those things. While you're there, get you a CJC Transport cocktail, smash burgers from Rockstar Tacos, and the fine folks from Evolution Festival will be on site sampling 9 different bourbons and whiskeys, like Yellowstone Select Bourbon, Rebel 100 Straight Rye Whiskey, and more. Plus, CJC Transport will be hosting a single long putt challenge with your chance to score $2,500. The Dotem After Party. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
105.7 HD2. The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Dude, boys. It's Ryan Kelly Morning After. This is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. If you're in the market for an appliance, look no further than Appliance Discounters. And their 80,000 square foot warehouse full of GE appliances and other major brands ready for delivery. Shop online at theappliancediscounters.com, where pricing has been adjusted to beat everybody in the competition. Theappliancediscounters.com. Doug and I are both loyal customers there, man. I like that Bradley family.
Yeah.
They take good care of us. If you are in need of an appliance, they have 5 St. Louis area locations, all in Missouri. See if I can do them from memory, Doug.
Okay.
Carondelet, South Side.
Yeah.
Concord Plaza,
Sure.
South County.
Yeah.
St. Chuck.
I think so. Isn't there one in Webster?
Yep, there's one in Webster.
Yeah. Because I'm a range enthusiast.
I know, you go ranging.
Yeah.
You go ranging
So I know where
with
they
the
are. I know where the good
appliance
buys are. That's where they are.
Oh, I thought I could do it from memory. I thought I was good enough. I guess I'm not. Baldwin, Maplewood, St. Charles, Concord Plaza, Carondelet. So I guess we got 3 right. We made up a location in Webster.
They used to be in Webster.
appliancediscounters.com.
They used to be there.
There you go. We
On Watson.
Doug, you've got a twin bill today for Sound Story.
Yeah.
How do you do?
That'll be fun. Always interesting. Everybody's got an interesting story to tell.
Amen.
So we'll do 2 of those today.
I had one, what is today? Wednesday? I had one on Monday. You have 2 today. It is a perfect Mother's Day gift. MySoundStory.com. One of the things I've learned since we did a marketing campaign in the 4th quarter for it is the Jackson Burkett package. That's so double entendre.
Yeah, it is. Very nice, though.
Doug, what's Tim doing with his shoulders?
TV one.
I don't know what
I don't know why either. But I want to give the people on YouTube an extra treat.
Yeah.
Because I feel like this shirt brings out my eyes. That's what the ladies
and you're
are
a
saying.
showman.
That is a really
frankly.
good shirt.
Yeah, you like it?
Yeah.
Listen, the price points are different, and I think I need to hammer that home. And some people say, "Oh, it costs too much." Hey, I get it. I understand. There's cost associated with it. So if you're looking for something that is more cost effective, I think we're going to get to a point where we just hire somebody full time to do interviews that would allow more people to do it at a lower price point. Because I'm sure there are plenty of people who go, I can't afford to spend $549 pre-promo code for a pre-produced interview. Totally understand. Now, after the 20% off you get by entering promo code TMA, it drops down to like $430, if my math is correct. Maybe I'm off on that. Somebody's nurse will check on it.
Right.
But Jackson is at $249.99. And I would tell you, Jackson's going to do a wonderful job.
You're going to get someone with some passion, some enthusiasm.
Wow, that insinuates me and you don't have passion. Did you catch that?
Yes, I did. It was a direct
Very
shot at us.
passive-aggressive. This guy now that they came after him for what? Oh, the Kobe Brown transfer.
That's how they do it in Russia. They just try to stomp all over you.
Right.
Give them an inch.
Doug and I were just thrown out of a building.
Jackbooted thug.
It's mysoundstory.com. John Hewlett available. And, boy, people order John Hewlett left and right, I can tell you that. Doug's got a twin bill today. Let's play 2. mysoundstory.com. The promo code is TMA, and it gets you 20% off a gift card for Mother's Day. It is a great gift. Can't say enough about the responses we get from doing these, and also how much we, as the people who host them, enjoy doing them as well. As Doug said, everyone has a story, and that is the basis for mysoundstory.com, promo code TMA. That is where you can get yours for Mother's Day, only 4 days away. It is the Appliance Discounters 8 o'clock hour. Yesterday on Balloon Party, we had Buster Olney on, and wow. Didn't pull punches, Plowhawk. I know you were in here and don't get a chance to listen to 101 ESPN as much as you would like.
Not enough.
Thank you. So here is the clip of Buster Olney, his opening statement regarding the Wilson Contreras situation.
Oh, my goodness. The last 72 hours in St. Louis, sir. Wow.
Shocker.
Yeah.
I can't think of, I've been sort of racking my brain trying to think of a comparable situation in baseball history where, a big acquisition, where the team has a long-term investment in that particular player goes south so quickly. And you essentially have the team 1 month into a 5-year, $87.5 million deal punting and trying to figure out what's next. And on one hand, you know what? If they believe internally that this is something they need to do in order to try to turn this team around and win, then you admire them for it. But there's also no question about it. I mean, it's debacle. You can't get away from that. Otherwise they wouldn't be making the decision that they're making.
Was the audio weird for you guys?
Yeah.
Dude, it's about my computer, man. It's
You
just,
got to use the new Adobe. You got to use the brand new Adobe.
Use the new Adobe.
I didn't know if it was just me or if this banana I'm suckling has some kind of mushrooms in it.
Psychedelic properties. No, I heard some echoing.
No, we got to use the. We got to
Now they're not happy about the clip.
Use the Adobe.
Was that Max Headroom? That's from Jonathan Titsworthy. Great audio, Jackson. That's from
Come
the
on, guys.
it's not nothing to do with Jackson.
This is why they age so quickly, the producers.
Yeah, this is Roy. Good call, Doug.
Well, he called it a debacle. I did hear that.
He said he was trying to rack his brain for something that was similar with a free agent signing.
Yeah. It is hard to believe, really, what's happened. Mask a little bit right now because they won 3 in a row.
And we're lucky Kisner's hitting. I mean, typically he doesn't hit.
Well, I mean, the blue pit he had in the.
Again, hits are hits, I
Just
guess.
to not
but
strike
yeah.
out, He's still hitting 212 or
I
something.
get it. Did have a 2-hit night.
Don't bury the lead here. It sounds like Buster Olney has joined the New World Order. The new World Order, Doug. It was known as the NWO.
Maybe he was just talking like that on purpose. Improve
But I
his brand.
conducted the interview, and I don't remember him doing it.
Yeah, they missed me. I guess I wasn't paying
You
attention.
got to use the new Adobe. I know that.
Well, I opened up new Adobe 5 minutes ago, and it just opened to the Adobe
What's the
screen.
deal with the computer, bro?
I don't know, man.
Has this been a recent problem since we moved into the studio, or is it a new
I
computer?
would say it's recent in the last week or so.
Really?
Yeah.
Have you brought it to the attention of Rut Daddy?
No, but I love me some Rut Daddy. He's one of my favorite people. So I will, yeah. It usually hasn't been an issue playing audio.
I was going to ask for another clip, but Doug, candidly, I'm petrified.
Yeah, gun shy.
Yeah.
You know, give me 2 seconds.
So I could tell Buster Olney are on the same page about the whole thing. Absolute macro and short term, but certainly macro debacle at the moment with the catcher situation. He was really scathing of the Cardinal front office and was telling the story how the Astros were getting ready to sign him, and their baseball people came to Jim Crane, St. Louis, and owner of the Astros, and said, "Do not sign him." So I said, well, how'd the Cardinals miss this, considering they saw him 115 times with regards to his catching ability? And I gather everything that's kind of being talked around is he just isn't really interested in the work that it takes to prepare game plans for hitters. That's how I would summarize these conversations over the last few days.
How long can that take, and what else is he doing? Don't they have meetings before every
Enjoying
game?
hitting.
And, I mean, Olney goes on to say in the interview, he says, he's talked to league executives, and the days of him being an everyday catcher are pretty much over. And
that people were stunned that the Cardinals, specifically the Cardinals, considering what they usually do, went that direction. So, with that said, we both share this opinion. Like, if you had to put money down on who would win the National League Central, even in St. Louis, where the opinion of the team is low, like, you got to put money that matters to you down. I think most people at the moment, if it's just the odds that are out there, would put it on, like it's even money, I should say, without the odds that are out there. You would take the Brewers, I would gather.
That's what I would say.
But with the Cardinals at plus 750, and I'm seeing that on Bovada, that is actually, I may put a decent amount of money on that. Because it's plus 750, I'm getting 7.5 to 1 on my dollar.
Right.
And I think the Cardinals, which implies that the Cardinals win the National League Central approximately 18% of the time, if my math on the fly is correct, and they win the National League Central more than 18% of the time. I would give them a higher probability winning the National League Central than 18%, so therefore I'm getting value on my dollar. Here is what Olney had to say regarding the National League Central and the Cardinals.
They are still the team to beat in the Central, which might sound crazy given how poorly they generally have played. But here's the simple fact is they've got more talent than anybody in the division. In the end, there's an expectation among folks I talk with other teams. The Pirates are a great story. They've taken a big step forward, but we don't know if they are going to be able to withstand this, especially with O'Neill Cruz out. The the Brewers are an interesting team, and they've got some high-end talent. But the lingering question that other folks have is, when we get to the trade deadline, will they manage their payroll like they did last year when they traded Josh Hader, despite being in first place? Because if you're going to get maximum value for someone like a Burns, a Woodruff, a Willie Adames, the time to trade those guys is this July. So will they punt? The Reds are getting better, but they're not close to being a team that's relevant. The Cubs are better, but I don't think anybody looks at them as world beaters. So I still, even with the deficit that the Cardinals have, I still think they're going to wind up being the team to beat. And who knows? Maybe the way this is all played out will add a layer of accountability to all the players in there. Like, oh my God, the pitchers. As someone told me, if the pitchers wanted Wilson Contreras to be their guy, he would be the catcher. And maybe some of the pitchers who struggle at this point are like, okay, well, I used that get-out-of-jail-free card, and maybe they start to perform better.
Plowk, you were shaking your head throughout the course of that soundbite.
Yeah, I love Buster Olney, by the way. He's one of my favorites. But I don't agree with that because of the pitching staff that the Cardinals currently have. Now they have weapons to get some.
I have to say, I share your opinion as far as the team to beat, and I also share what you just said before I rudely cut you off.
There you go.
That they do have at least potentially weapons. I don't know if they're necessarily serving as weapons at the moment that could allow them to trade, which was the thought process at the beginning of the year for starting pitching. But the division is so up in the air that if they were in any other division outside of the two Centrals, I don't know if they would have a chance because of the pitching. But because they're in the division they're in, then I would absolutely. And to me, it is value. No matter what your Doug, what is your unit size? I assume it's $10,000. That's what your standard unit is when you're.
Well,
everybody on local TV's unit size.
If I'm cash poor at the time,
7.5 to 1 on that. I'm doing it. Remember talking about this on some bet last year with the Cardinals too. I think they were like the underdogs to win the Central.
Yeah, when
after the Brewers traded Hader.
Yeah, it was right after the Brewers.
Oh my God, this stuff doesn't come along all that often. Yeah. So I'm not saying that the Cardinals will win the Central. I'm just saying 7.5 to 1. That's my thought process. But I agree with you. It's tough to say a team is a team to beat when there isn't one starter where you go, okay, good, he's on the mound tonight. I suppose at the moment it's Jordan Montgomery. And somebody was theorizing that Jack Flaherty was especially banty because he knew he was one of the faces of the Contreras thing, and it's not like it was a great improvement with Kisner behind the plate last night. For those of you just joining us, I do think it is worth replaying the exchange with Jack Flaherty last night at Wrigley Field. Doug, the listeners, they cycle on.
Then they cycle off.
They cycle off. Here is Jack Flaherty.
The entirety?
Yeah. It starts with a question from the Cat asking about his velocity. Jack cuts him off. He's not happy with it. And then Derek Gould sounds like he wants to ask him to go outside.
Right. The velocity on your fastball is down.
The next time somebody wants to mention the velocity of my fastball, I'm not going to answer another question about, I'm going to play with the velocity of my fastball based on what the game calls for. So I can get outs at 90, I can get outs at 95. I'm going to play with it. I've always played with it. I've thrown freaking fastballs at 87 before in games when I've been at my best. I'm not answering questions on. I'm just saying because y'all want to make a big deal out of it, and I'm tired of it. I'm not. It's so ridiculous. I'm going to go for what the game calls for, and that's heart of pitching. So if you want to ask about it, you don't understand the art of pitching. I'm going to go with what the situation calls for, what the game calls for. But you have to manage pitch counts. You have to manage the way that the game goes. There's certain times where you up it, and you're gonna start seeing 4, 5, 6, and there's certain times you might be able to be like, okay, here, situation calls for it, you bump it back up. It's the way the game goes. So that's the way that you go about the game.
We don't know that unless we ask, Jack. We don't know.
Well, then you don't understand pitching, and that's okay.
You want to say that again?
Oh,
I'm sorry.
I'm sorry. You said I don't understand pitching.
That's the way that.
We just don't feel like we should guess. We want your answer so we can quote you and give it to the fans.
Okay, Derek.
That's why we ask.
Whatever you said.
If Mills Lane had been there, he'd have said, "Gentlemen, let's get it on."
But Derek almost sounded like because he said, "I'm sorry." What was that? after
it was like a polite, like I don't hear you saying I'm sorry, and then Derek immediately says I'm sorry.
Yeah,
like I didn't hear you, and yeah, that's probably the best piece of Cardinal audio I've heard in a long time.
Skipper jumped my ass in that building a few different times, Wrigley Field.
You threatened to rip him a new one?
Sat there, and I'd been through it so many times. Like, all right, why'd I even bother asking a question? Yeah. It doesn't matter. So I came up, he was going to go, okay, here's your $10,000 bonus for getting your ass ripped. It's the same paycheck.
You're going to use the soundbite. Whoever has the nerve to ask the question, pat him on the back because you know you're going to use the soundbite.
Absolutely.
Cal May.
So, just you guys go, okay. One of the delights of the industry. But yeah, that was fun. What that was really, really fun.
Gentlemen, let's get it on! I miss him.
Get his ass, Gould! That's from Sesame Timbers. Flaherty has it made in the shade because if anyone scrutinizes him, he gets to act like it's due to his politics and not the fact that he's a big baby. That's from Mr. Slave. I don't know if Flaherty necessarily talks about getting criticized because of his politics. I feel like there's portions of the fan base that does, but then at the same time, it would be disingenuous to say that people don't come after him because of his politics. I think there are plenty of people who go, okay, I can separate the two, and whether I like what he says or I don't like what he says, he's a pitcher with a shoulder injury who is, at this point, at best 50% of what he was when he was at his best. And I couldn't care less if somebody shared my worldviews on something or not. It's about a baseball team. And I realize that's unique in not unique. I realize some people view things through that prism, and that's fine, whatever. But I don't think people are going, oh yeah, I'm going against Jack Flaherty because he's, or a large portion anyway, of baseball observers are looking at it that way. He's throwing the ball in the upper 80s. He's explaining it away by saying he's not going to talk about it anymore. And whether he is far left wing, far right wing, or moderate, it doesn't change the fact that the fastball is hovering around the upper 80s, and that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a bipartisan issue.
Doug, we can reach across the aisle on that.
And these players better be careful who they lip off to, because most of us in the media could whoop them if we wanted to.
Yeah, we're fighters.
Derek Gould is going to go.
Yeah. We're a lot of cage fighters. A lot of sports writers had careers as cage fighters before they got into the newspaper business.
For the record, Ali Marmol was asked about the velocity issue. He had a different answer. Here it is.
All right, hit the lever, please.
It looked like his velocity was not great.
Yeah, there's times where it was 88, 89, and then a couple pitches later he'd pop a 94, but it was in and out of that. Yeah, I agree.
So you have any explanation for that?
Not at the moment. It's something. Yeah, something. Have a conversation with Jack and see, but no, at the moment, not really.
Well, if he could get it up to 94, and then he was just changing speeds to 88, then maybe that really was the plan. Maybe I'm sure he's trying something different to get over the rut that he's in.
Then if that is the case, then I would imagine the manager would acknowledge that
would
that
have
was the
known
case.
it.
Right.
Yeah.
So that's why I wanted to play that soundbite to give that context, because Jack Flaherty was making it sound like it was intentional. But when Ali Marmol was asked about it, he said he saw that and that he needs to talk to Jack about it. So
to me, it's the control that's more concerning than the velo. You understand the velocity discrepancy with the shoulder. He just can't get strikes going. And I feel like from what I've seen that he gets worse calls. Like there were some outside pitches he threw last night that were totally strikes that were called balls, but
it's politics.
Right. I just feel like the control concerns me more than velocity.
Well, if you're throwing 88 and you can nibble on the corners, you could be
that's what I'm saying.
But if you're throwing 88 with no control, it's you're dead meat.
If Jack can't handle the softball media questions that the St. Louis balloon party throws at him, how the hell's he going to manage being in Los Angeles, New York, Philadelphia, or Boston? That's from Kevin's brother, Jack Demoff. I don't know if the LA media is necessarily hardcore, but New York, Philadelphia, Boston.
And those guys aren't as tough physically as we are.
That's the key.
I think we're so
scrappiest media.
We're so big and
scrappy media
and burly that we create an intimidating presence just when we walk in there.
I didn't know
we're already back on their heels.
Thank you. I didn't know that Flaherty got Banty in that when I went to the Bailey's app this morning at 5 a.m. to watch the post game, and you could, in the way it started. you could just tell, like, the lack of respect, and I'm not saying it's deserved for the record, but that he has for even answering the questions. It's just like, here come a bunch of guys who don't know anything about this, think that they do, and they're going to challenge me on what I did. And he was ready to go from the get-go, because the first question was totally benign. And then when the Cat asked him about the velocity thing, Cat couldn't even get like 4 words out, and Flaherty was gone. Yeah.
Well, in his early days with the Cardinals, he was very accommodating.
Great interview.
Yeah, he was terrific. Yeah.
Now, I did it more in a sit-down. I haven't done the post-game thing where it doesn't matter who you are. If somebody had a bad performance, they're not going to be in the mood to handle it. It's a tough thing to do. I get that. And then people on social media who, of course, are not in the arena, sit there and judge behind fake names and have the lack of self-awareness to go, oh, yeah, I'm such a badass that I'm hiding behind a fake name. And I'm criticizing the people who are actually doing it. But I think with Flaherty specifically, he is concerned about what he thought he was going to make hundreds of millions of dollars, and now who knows what the situation is going to be. He has to get to the finish line of October 2023 and get whatever he can get.
Yeah, he was on top of the world, looking like one of the brightest stars in the league, and now he's suffered this injury, and he's struggling. And how could he not be totally frustrated by it? And then when he goes out and tries to battle through it and suffers, not the results that he wants, and then the reporters come in and ask him about it, he can't take it anymore. I mean, you can understand how difficult that would be to be that frustrated and to have another game that didn't go the way you wanted it, and here they come asking me why I'm not very good.
Right. Tough. And plus scrappy media.
Right, and you might take a beating.
Your thoughts are welcome on the topic. 314-881-TMA5. Call in if you'd like, 636-9004-TMA, and you can email in the morning after at InsideSTL.com for our design, air, heating, and cooling email. Today, Munganast is the sponsor of the 7 o'clock hour and the Daily Fantasy Sports Showdown. StLouisAcura.com and AltonToyota.com. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota. Go shopping right now at StLouisAcura.com or AltonToyota.com on the pre-owned selection that Jamie Burkhardt and Clayton Patterson have for you, along with the great Peter Munganast. And you can use the secret number to go right to what, Doug, you call them the C-suite people.
Yeah, or the muckety mucks.
Muckety mucks.
Yeah, muckety mucks.
314-252-0029. Even if you didn't get your car from Munganast, get it serviced at Munganast. You'll be so happy you did. It's Munganast, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, the official automotive provider of TMA. Jackson, tell people about Mark Hanna.
Best in the business.
Is he?
Yeah. Great communicator is what I like to call him, Doug. And I know that you echo that sentiment because you witnessed what happened at the Berlin Wall. And that's just one of the many great examples of Mark Hanna's ability to communicate with people.
Nice.
When I've dealt with him in the financial planning arena, I can also say that he is the great communicator. I've worked, and anytime I give him a call, I look forward to a Mark Hanna call because I know he has so much wisdom. And he has, obviously, that financial knowledge and wisdom to help you with your financial future. But it's the way he conveys that message to his client that really sets him apart, in my opinion. So I love working with Mark Hanna. I think you'll love working with Mark Hanna. And the way that he communicates really sets him apart. It's exactly why I work with him, and it's exactly why you should as well.
314-889-0503. Go online at evergreenstl.com. It's Mark Hanna, and he is with Evergreen Wealth Strategies. Doug, take a look at your shrubs. Why are they so dense?
Green envy.
Ah, yes. I have the same thing on all my shrubs.
Nothing I did. I used to try to do it all myself. I used to go to the hardware store and ask the guy working there, what should I put on my lawn? And he'd give me something, and I'd spread it around and get no results whatsoever. I did that for years and years, saying, what's going on here?
Nice.
Why can't I grow a decent yard? Nice. Because I didn't know what I was doing. But, boy, that's not the case at Green Envy. They know everything about the St. Louis conditions, the soil, the weather conditions, the turf types, and they will get you turned around like they did me. My yard is just green and thick, and I mean to tell you, I get tired of cutting it. It's so nice. Neighbors look over there and say, "What's he doing? What in the world's going on over there?" And then they see the green Envy truck outside my house about once a month, and then it rings in. They go, "Oh, I see what he's doing."
And then
he's got people who actually know what they're talking about.
You can call them and find those people at Green Envy, 636-757-1600. They're open 12 hours a day, Monday through Friday, Saturday 9 to 1 to take your calls and answer your questions. 636-757-1600. It's Green Envy working on Doug's lawn, my lawn, and we are in awe of what they have produced for us this spring, especially considering up until last week the weather was pretty cold in St. Louis. 2023 Kawasaki jet skis are now on clearance starting at $8,999 at Big St. Charles Motorsports. That's right. New 2023 Kawasaki STX 160s are now only $89.99 down from an MSRP of $11,399. Don't miss out on a savings of $2,400, class-leading acceleration, and advanced electronics. Come see us at Big St. Charles Motorsports today in St. Charles. 2023 clearance Kawasaki inventory is limited here at Big St. Charles, so don't miss out. Price does not include manufacturer surcharge. Add $400 for cash purchase. Offer subject to change without notice. Some restrictions may apply. See salesperson for details. It's Big St. Charles Motorsports located on I-70 at Cave Springs. Big St. Charles Motorsports.com. And think about it. All right, a million texts come in on this. I'd like to turn Doug around like Green Envy turned his lawn around. It's from the 314.
I don't understand that one.
It's just from the 314. This is from KG in O-Town, who is not in the Horton Watkins studio today. What the media does not want to tell you about Flaherty is that he fell in the shower, and the decrease in velocity is from the resulting tendinitis.
It's like Iggy.
Sources are saying he may miss his next start because his sister asked him to babysit her kid. I report, you decide. That's from KG in O-Town.
Oh.
I think you might block him again.
Gosh, you could block him, you know.
Striking similarity.
You very well could block him.
Let's see. Flaherty had a great half season, and I'm shocked the Cardinals didn't overreact and give him a 10-year, $200 million deal. Looks like we dodged a bullet. That's from the Little Dutch Boy. Maybe Flaherty came to the realization that after his last interview where he called out the catcher that maybe it's him. That's from Linda the Beehole.
Oh.
Flaherty talks to Derek Gould the way Derek Gould talks to every fan on Twitter. That's from the 618. Say the Blues were in the playoffs this year. Do you think there would be the same amount of Cardinal coverage on the show? That's from Brest. No. The answer is no. It's a pretty basic question. Brest be better. Wilson Contreras is better at catching than Jack Flaherty is at pitching. So why don't we bench Flaherty? I bet he gets a one-year deal next year. It's from Lady Sonia's Teacup. I will short that play. I will wager. I'm anti-Brest's question, but I understand the question. And I will short the Lady Sonia's Teacup one-year deal for Jack Flaherty. I think Jack Flaherty will be gone from St. Louis within the next 6 months.
I also don't think that Contreras is a better catcher than Flaherty as a pitcher. I disagree with that.
Oh, I think he is.
Like, defensively? Like, defensive catcher, not hitting.
Maybe. I mean, you got a pitcher in Flaherty who struggles to get to 2-3 innings.
I would say I think the talent, there's more talent in Flaherty's pitching ability than there is.
I don't know.
Contreras' catching ability.
I don't know. I'd be put to the test on that. Of course, when it gets down to it, really don't know. But I don't know. I mean, Jack Flaherty's ceiling as a pitcher pre-injury, that was up there with the top 5% in Major League Baseball. But what he is now, I mean, he's a middle-of-the-road guy who's
at best,
who's pitching on a resume that is dated. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I know. I
mean, if Jack Flaherty were 35, he'd be on his way out of the game.
Yeah.
Because he's a young guy, and people still think of the second half in 2019.
But he can also look at teams and go, oh, well, my teammate Steven Matz gets paid $11 million a year. So that's why I think Jack will probably get around the same number, the Steven Matz number.
What do you think?
Be about 4 for 50, 4 years for $50 million. They're going to be a team that's desperate
there's
for
so
a
much
guy.
variance because there's still 4 or 5 months of regular season here.
For sure.
So that's why I don't know. I mean, at the moment, you would certainly go, God, how in the world could that happen? But back end of the rotation guy. But God, you got to be so aware of a guy with a shoulder issue.
Mm-hmm.
You know?
Yeah, the shoulder thing is that's a huge part of it, is his shoulder.
But if you were running a team somewhere and you knew about his injury history, would you want to throw a bunch of money at him?
Probably not.
Steven Matz is also injury prone too, is what I'm saying. I think they're good comparables. I mean, it's not a shoulder issue for Steven Matz, but it's not like he's been the healthiest. in his career, and he got paid.
I mean, almost all of them get hurt at some point. It's hard to find a major league pitcher who's been around a while who hasn't had Tommy John. They all get hurt at some point. But once the shoulder goes, like Flaherty, I'm not sure he'll ever get it back.
Well, he won't get it back, but you just got to work and deal with it.
Well, not if you don't want to blow a lot of money. Not if you don't want to throw $50 million at a guy who's not going to help you win.
268 people are watching. 271 now. A lady must have walked in. Are watching on YouTube, and I just went to the YouTube chat, and the Walrus King is theorizing, Plowhawk, your computer is slowed down by all the tennis shoe searches.
Oh, yeah.
You need some tennis shoes, do you, bro?
I don't even search, like, I go to
I thought your computer wasn't on cam anymore.
It
Hashtag
isn't,
on
thank
cam.
goodness. So I have Clip That Off, Twitter, and I have ESPN open. That's my three. That's it. And I'll Google something funny that we have on the show. That's typically it.
But your tennis shoe situation is in pretty good shape, isn't it?
Yeah, I really wanted to snag those Jason Tatums.
Yeah,
This is not only did he
you and
make
everyone
them,
else, baby.
Yeah, he
They
made
sold
them
out
a
quickly.
good price point, but they also look good. But
They sold out of tennis shoes?
Well, I think in store. I think maybe you can get them online.
No. That's how sneakers work. They drop shoes and they immediately sell out.
Gosh.
And then the
they're how
resale
much?
is like 100.
120.
Oh, God.
That's
so
cheap.
Foolish.
That's cheap.
value.
It's a foolish way to spend money.
It's cheap.
If Jack has 3 above-average starts in the playoffs on national TV, he's a $100 million pitcher in the offseason. Someone will reach. That's from Kevin's brother, Jack Demoff.
I don't know
call
about
that the NCAA tournament phenomenon. You have a double-digit seed in the first round. They spring an upset, and the next thing you know, that guy is now coaching a higher-profile team.
Happens every year.
It probably about 3 to 5 teams, too.
Oh, yeah. The guy from St. Peter's got a big...
God almighty. I look at that and I go, how in the world can an athletic department be that short-sighted?
Right.
Gets one win.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And then now, I mean, that's selling sizzle. That's not selling steak.
Yeah.
Has anyone in the Tejas used ChatGPT? Thanks. That's from Mr. Licks.
Have we used what now?
ChatGPT.
I know about it. I don't.
Oh, the chat
I've never.
AI thing?
Yeah, I've never used it, but I'm aware of what it is. Not something I necessarily need, so I don't use it that often or ever. But it's interesting. AI is certainly interesting.
I might pull my money out of goodorbad.com and put it into AI.
I wouldn't blame you. Yeah, I think good or
I
bad.
just need a monetization strategy. I've asked for it.
Yeah, I know.
My counsel's asked for it.
The problem with goodorbad.com is if I actually did start it, all I would do is see movies. Do you know how many movies come out every week?
Oh, you could
on
fake it.
the streaming
Fake it.
and
Take
all
a
that
COVID
stuff.
vacation.
Watch the trailer.
All I would do all day is see movies, and I have to see so much crap for it to be like an actual website, or I have
Read
to
other
hire
people's
other people.
reviews. Let the critics read their reviews, and then you come up with your own opinion, even if you haven't seen it.
That's exactly
No, that's not. But that's not what goodorbad.com is, Doug. It's a website built on integrity and no monetization
All
strategy.
you have to say is it's good or it's bad. There can't be a whole lot into it.
I like to give a little more.
Well, I don't know.
I thought that was the hook of goodorbad.com. You just type the film, and you see
Yeah.
good
or
bad.
You're right.
Right.
Well, there would be a headline, but
No
in
explanation.
my imagination, the headline would be good or bad. But then I would give a little explanation, like a little synopsis, like a little quick 2-sentence take.
Okay.
But then I would just end up all weekend and all my free time would be spent watching movies.
In movie houses.
Yeah, picture houses.
My hot take is 2023 will be a huge year in history because of the emergence of these AI technologies. I use ChatGPT for work-related projects, and it's mind-blowing. It also pens a wonderful homoerotic short story chock full of scat play and brine. That's from Geek Dotem. And I actually have thought the same thing as I've witnessed this. I mean, this time last year, certainly some people were talking about AI, but how it has become so mainstream and so many investment dollars have pivoted from take your pick of whatever sector over the last couple of years to, not that it's all AI, but so heavily influenced by AI. I do wonder if we are living in a moment, take your pick of whatever their comps would be in, relatively speaking, recent human history, such as the quote-unquote discovery of the Western Hemisphere with explorers, Galileo with astronomy, and the printing press, that this AI moment, it is, I'll be real straightforward. I'd understand it. I certainly understand where the dollars are moving toward it, but how quickly it has moved to the point you had one of the lead developers at Google resign last week or 2 weeks ago because he was uncomfortable with how much it was able to do.
There's a lot of people sounding warnings that this is not going to end well.
Right. So I'm looking at him going, this time last year, I mean, certainly people were aware of it this time last year, but I feel like over about the last 6 months, it is entered a different stratosphere.
An AI they've made an AI Drake and the Weeknd song, and it instantly got 2 million views, and people are clamoring for it and loved it. So like,
they just made up a song.
They made up a song and the AI can learn what Drake and the Weeknd's voice sounds like. Then you enter in the lyrics, and it makes a song.
Nobody will have
and
jobs.
It's unbelievable. It sounds just
kidding.
like Drake.
In 50 or 100 years, nobody will be working because
they'll be smarter than people because they never have a bad day.
That money talks, man. People don't care if it's going to take over the world, just as long as they put a couple billion in their pocket. That's
true.
dangerous, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it could start wars.
They look at the short term and don't care at all. All the guys are saying is, I won't be alive when S hits the fan, Who cares?
Yeah, I mean, AI and machine learning has been around for a long time, but Tim's right. Like, of recently, how advanced it's gotten, how it's entered into mainstream application is unbelievable. And it's only going to get more and more advanced.
Brian Henson with this observation. How about this? The Indianapolis Star has begun to quietly push out AI-generated gamers over the winter. It's troubling stuff. Wow.
Push out gamers.
So, like, if you go to STLtoday.com and you want to read what happened in the Cardinal game last night, and it's not a column, that's called a gamer. So AI is writing Pacers pieces?
There goes Henson's job.
It could easily,
no wonder he's chirping.
It could easily be done, stuff like that. Like,
nobody's going to have a job unless you're creating AI technology. That's the only jobs that are going to be left.
Yeah.
Have they made robots yet that will have threesomes with you? And will you know your sexual preferences? That's from caller Buzz, Doug.
She has romantic, she has family,
right there.
And she has also sexy modes.
It's already done.
Yeah, it's already done. Yeah, we acquired the patent on this show.
Well,
nuclear fusion.
My money's still in fusion.
I diversified to the sex robot.
Yeah, and good or bad, please.
AI lawyers already exist. A computer passed the bar exam, and one was officially on a trial. That's from the 573.
I'm telling you, man, this is over.
It's over. You've just...
50, 100 years from now, it's certainly going to take a lot of time to shove hundreds of millions of people out of work, but it's going to be one industry at a time. Fast food will be first. Fast food is going to be first and foremost. There will be no fast food workers.
I heard someone on Wendy's has already got that where they got
Taco Bell's
a
got
robot
those out
answering
in
your calls
California.
on drive-through.
Yep.
Maybe we could get AI on the show because AI will play more drops. That's from Ray King, and he's not happy.
And invent their own drops.
Yeah, good text.
You're fed up with Ray King,
I
aren't you?
really hope AI takes over our text line. None of these morons text in.
I cannot wait until the machines take over and we get a hot and naked savior robot from the future come save us. I sure hope that robot looks like Doug. That's from the 314.
Me too.
Yeah, Terminator 2 talks. I mean, that's kind of the whole plot of Terminator 2 is AI becoming sentient and taking over.
Don't say sentient.
What if we did...
That is the only word that would make sense there.
I don't like the word, and I'm asking you nicely not to say it again.
He was polite in his request.
All right, the AI became
Terminator 2,
self-aware.
goodorBad.com.
It's the best sequel of all time.
Wow. You ever see Where the Boys Aren't Part 2?
Godfather Part 2.
That was called
Godfather Part 2?
Godfather Part 2 is like obviously incredible, but like I count that like kind of as one big movie.
Caddyshack Part 2 is brilliant.
Jackie Mason. Yeah, really good. Really good.
Jonathan Silverman.
Yeah,
But
Anchorman 2 is horrible.
Similar to Drake and the Weeknd song, what if AI did an hour segment of our show?
Nice.
I mean, that's part of the writer's strike that
think
they're
that
on
would-
right now, is that they're trying to, so that AI isn't writing, your favorite TV and movies.
Funnier stuff than what the writer can
Which
come
they
up
could definitely do, right?
with. Maybe.
Well, but not at this point, but at one point, certainly they could. Yeah.
At least they're sentient.
We don't want, if they
Oh, we
become
don't want that.
sentient, Doug,
I know-
we're screwed.
Okay, yeah, I knew it was one way or the other.
Jackson explained that to the people.
Sentient means self-aware. So if the AI start talking to each other and realize that they are a computer-generated program, but that they have the ability to learn more, they can become sentient, meaning like we are sentient. As humans, we are sentient. We know
You ever
we
been to Clayton
exist.
on a Friday night?
Right. Perfect example. That's
Just being in Clayton?
yeah. If you're in Clayton, you're sentient. No, but we are sentient. We know who we are. We know we're alive. If the AI figures out that they are alive and that they can grow and learn and that they have power, we are in bad shape.
Yeah.
We've created a monster.
Sure.
But I don't, this is a movie from the 80s.
I
or
have
90s.
AI run my investment portfolio, and it's up 125%, but that's probably because I put all my money into the refurbished Sibian market.
Yeah.
God save the Queen. That's from Mr. Licks.
Yeah, Hannah's been telling us to look into that for a long time.
Refurbished Sibian.
Yeah.
It's
And
true.
none of us listened.
Well, we got to diversify.
So we still work.
AI will definitely take over HD1 first. You guys have nothing
Yeah,
to worry
that's a good
about. That's
point.
from Hammer and Hank.
HD2 is not sentient.
Yeah, we'll be the last sentient radio show on the dial.
That's how we'll brand ourselves.
Sentient and stupid.
Guys, imagine if pockets became sentient. Oh, the possibilities. That's from Randy Character. Let's see. I will bet someone that baseball will use AI in place of a manager within the next 10 years. That's from Mr. Licks.
They use machine learning to break down analytics and sabermetrics.
Yeah.
Did you see the Amazon robot or the robot that was doing like Amazon work and it literally shut down in 5 minutes?
No.
Like, and that's super funny. Like, it's just like normal work. It's like, okay, after 5 minutes of this, the robot had enough.
Yeah, you wonder what jobs people will have.
It won't be.
HD2.
Beyond HD2, there's only so many ears out there to listen to.
So you can eliminate fast food. You can probably eliminate any customer service representative. Those are no longer going to exist.
Financial services?
Financial services, all that can be data-driven on a...
The legal business? I don't know about health. Lots of health care, I'm sure.
Let's be honest here. The listening audience only needs artificial intelligence that deposits the helmet nachos into their mouths as they squeakily wheel around on their little rascal scooters. That's from Carlos Spicerwinter. Doug, have you seen our audience on Rascals?
Yeah, true.
Imagine getting on virtual reality just to eat a helmet nacho.
I do see
on the
less and
couch.
less of the rascals in the paddock when I get to a grocery store, which
Yeah.
means that they're out in the wild.
Sure. Roaming.
And that's always concerning. If you're large
Maybe it
enough.
means they don't need them as much because the people are getting thinner. That's what I think it means.
No, it means keep your head on a swivel because someone's going to be rolling down the damn aisle.
Well, is it possible with this artificial intelligence, if they can do everything, that there'll come a day where we won't have to work?
Yeah, I guess. I mean,
That
some
you won't,
industries.
Yeah, that you won't necessarily
Someone's
have.
got to program the AI. That's going to be a lot of the jobs. I mean, for the longest time, it's been software engineering has been the job to have. That's why anyone with a software engineering degree or that capability is the most hireable person in America.
I'll tell you what, AI can't replace porn.
Oh, why couldn't
Great
it?
observation.
I think they already
It's-
have.
What?
I think
Oh, no,
there's
not live scenes.
Right, like with real people. Like,
Well, it could produce videos out of thin air, couldn't it?
Well, don't you need a man and a woman? Woman and a woman?
Maybe not.
Man.
No, I'm sure the computer-generated
People lie.
graphics would look just like one.
yeah, if you could CGI it. Are you anti-CGI, Stag?
I don't know if I've seen one.
You don't have a
I'm
sentient
in and
bone
out.
your
When I'm
body.
looking at porn, I got page 1 opened up and I'm done by page 2.
Yeah, I mean, that's
so,
the Plowhawk. He's efficient. Guys, I asked AI who Mr. Licks was, and it returned a picture of a Granite City High School student holding a GED diploma. That's from the Warson-Woods Wacko.
Oh, well,
is
that's
that correct? So
a
this
nice
AI is
diploma to have in your
powered
hip pocket.
Do you get a diploma for a GED? I guess you probably do.
I think you do, yeah.
Why would you be standing outside the high school if you dropped out and got a GED? That
Well,
doesn't make
maybe
much
you
sense.
started there.
Yeah.
You know,
To
you're
show
just
them.
shoving it in their face.
Yeah, right.
There
Show
it
them
is.
I did it in half the time.
Said I couldn't.
You think you could pass the GED test right now?
I don't know. Not the math, probably.
Yeah.
Sure, I've forgotten all the math and science.
I took the citizenship test once, just randomly, and I that went poorly.
It did?
It's tougher than you
Oh, you
think.
have to know, like... all
Like the
rest-
amendments, like I don't, you
Oh,
know,
yeah,
just
we
a
don't know
couple.
those. Yeah. We expect other people coming into the country to know them. We don't know them ourselves.
Good morning. It's a common misconception that manufacturing and customer service and retail jobs will be the first to go. If machine learning has taught us anything, and if AI advancement has taught us anything in the last year plus, it's that high-paying white-collar jobs are the most at risk. There will always be work for plumbers, craftsmen, etc. You don't need someone with a six-figure salary to lord over law and criminal justice president. You can just use a computer. That's from Kevin's brother. His first name is Jack, and his last name is Demoff.
Yeah, that would make sense. Trade skills like that, you can't I don't think a machine can fix your pipe or anything or rewire your electricity.
Probably
but maybe one day it could. I don't know.
Orson Woods Wacko, you are now on alert from Mr. Licks, who just said, watch it, Orson Woods Wacko.
Yeah, he's got to watch it.
Did he say anything
He
to?
needs
Or
He
just
said
in
he's a
general?
Granite City High School
Oh,
student.
that's right with the GED. Yeah.
We got breaking news from the Loomster, who is a Listener of the Year candidate, Plowhawk, at the Year-End Awards, and he nearly won the Fan Page Club Championship, and he won the Date with Lisa Ann last year. He had a huge year.
All those have asterisks. I mean, I think you need to go into more detail on, forfeiting his way to the champion or semis, having his, significant other, win him the award as he's cucking, eating wings in the background. Like, these need to be said.
He's got nothing to be proud of.
Fellas, my horse for the FPCC, Brett, is trying to schedule his match with this Joseph fella. And he's having a lot of trouble getting response from Joseph for a date and a time. Some of us work and need more than 1 day notice to schedule. Can somebody get this message to Joseph and have him reach out to my horse, Brett? Thanks a million. That's from the Loomster. Doug, can you reach out to Joseph?
Horse?
If both can't play, I say it's a coin flip. Heads, Joe moves on. Tails, the Loomster's buddy moves on.
You do have to give a guy more than 1 day's notice, don't you? You say, I can only play at 9 o'clock on Thursday. When the other guy works, that's not fair.
Well, if it's Joseph, though.
It's still not fair.
Again, I bring back the Iggy thing to where both players were able to play, but Iggy, the caddy, was unable to be there, so they barely got their match in.
I believe I'm playing Cletus a week from Saturday. So I know we're working on the grandstands over there. Trying to figure out, because I don't think they're going to build grandstands for all 18 holes. I think that's a mistake.
There'll be corporate tents, though.
There'll be corporate tents. There'll be corporate suites.
Hospitality suites.
That's correct. For me and Cletus.
Catered.
Be giving him 7 pops. I am plus 170 right now on the money line, Doug, if you're interested in.
There's pretty good value there.
You think there's value?
Well, if it's like if the Thursday and Friday prior, which we've talked about before, will be
I need the right
warm.
conditions.
If it's dry, that certainly benefits you with the
Because Doug, I'm
roll.
going to need to birdie some holes to win them. Let's just be honest out there.
If we do get some rain, that girdle's going to be wet.
It's going to be crusty.
Heavier.
Can you imagine the
And
chafing?
fragrant. And
Stinky.
fragrant.
Yeah, it is fragrant.
And he's going to be all over you, so that could affect your game.
That's the tough thing. If I birdie, I need to immediately run the opposite way of the golf hole,
right?
The opposite of Kevin Na, and try to bolt, because that's when he likes to dry hump me.
Yeah.
Can you wear some chastity boy panties?
That off, and I think that's a great idea.
Yeah, the red wine is right. Like how Bugs Bunny has Michael's secret stuff in Space Jam.
Yeah.
That's the red wine is Cletus's secret stuff.
That's what gets him going?
Yeah, and it's usually hot.
He says he needs it to calm his nerves when he's putting, when he's
Red
playing
wine.
in January at Normandy. Oh, the pressure.
Yeah.
Well, the red wine comes out in the heat or the cold. It's just hot red wine.
Guys, the first second round match was played yesterday. That's from the 314. Doug, what a great time.
That's nice news to hear. We don't care. We don't care at all about it.
Who won?
Tell us who won. We'll write in your little name, and you can have your moment in the spotlight.
That person's now only 4 wins away from $2,500, whoever that person is.
Yeah, we don't know.
The text was just the second round matchup was played yesterday.
How do they know it was the first second round match?
I guess they're watching. There's a live stream.
I guess if
One of these people were involved.
I guess if you don't put it on the fan page, it's the first one.
Tim, don't make eye contact with him. That's when I feel like he comes for you. That's from Chairman Steve in Wildwood.
He gets lost in your eyes.
He does, my baby blues. This lamester guy thinks he's more important than he really is. Drink bleach, loser. Oh. That's from Mr. Smith.
Wow.
Oh, come on, Smitty.
Wow.
Who's he telling to drink bleach to?
Loomster.
That's your guy, Plowhawk.
Who's got? I don't know if I have many guys. But I like Mr.
Mace
Smith.
Dog
He's a
is
good
your
dude.
guy.
Oh, Mace
D-Dub.
Dog. For a D-Dub. For
Sure.
sure. Devereaux. Oh,
God, your posse? You kidding me?
What's the guy out in Vegas?
Matty Dres, baby.
Matty Dres, yeah.
Got Rickinaw. Don't forget Rickinaw. He's out in Houston.
How can we forget Rickinaw?
Yeah, I didn't.
Orson Woods Wacko's not done. Mr. Licks, does AI schedule your annual vacation to 30A? That's the Orson Woods Wacko.
I don't get the Destin hate. It's a lovely little city.
Oh, man, I tell you what.
It's
Madison,
a great part of our country.
Madison's not a fan of Mr. Licks.
Oh, is that right?
I'll give you a story here.
Oh,
so
well,
we
yeah.
were,
A little story.
Settle in.
it's not. I guess it's not as good of a story, but we were on Hampton. Actually, Jackson, I'm telling you, right near your hood, right off, right by the QT there, Wendy's, Hardee's,
Right by 44.
Correct. So we were waiting, and there was a car in front of me with multiple, and I mean multiple, 30A stickers, along with a 13.1 sticker. So you had the combo.
Oh, gosh.
We're just missing the Joy FM sticker.
And the little family
But
characters.
I brought it to Madison's attention about the 30A sticker and what Mr. Lick says is for the poor. I forgot what exactly I said.
Yeah.
But me and Madison enjoy going to the 30A area.
Well, you
We
do.
love going to Grayton Beach in Florida. It's
Why wouldn't
beautiful.
you?
And she was not a fan. She goes, I hate that dude so much.
Mr. Licks is
You know
sideways
he's
at
not
Madison.
rich. She's like, you know he lives in South County. He's not rich. And I was like, wow, she has takes. So, Mr. Licks, you're put on notice by Madison.
Oh, wow.
Kind of
Not a
not
fan
South
of the
County.
38, yeah.
Sakes alive.
Wow.
She did throw South County under the bus there, but
Yeah, there are some rich people in South County.
Guys, you can't swing a dead cat in Destin without hitting a diabetic fat wearing a Cardinals hat. That's from the Hunchback of Von Castle.
Or in St. Louis. That goes for here, too.
Right. They do a lot of biking down there, though. People are active near the water there in Destin.
yeah, but when you're a
Oh, yeah.
transplant and want to retire, typically you don't have the exercise form from the jump, so you move down there and just look for the nearest helmet nacho stand and kind of just
They have stands.
Satellite helmet nachos.
Like that. Hey, if you're looking for a delicious treat to get yourself bulked up for the trip to 30A, I would recommend what Chris has at Heavy Smoke.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Bill, you will bulk up that evening right away because it is a delicious treat. Heavy Smoke Barbecue. Chris Schaefer, 3-time World Championship Barbecue winner. He is the partner at Heavy Smoke, and it is unbelievable. I went out there a few weeks ago. What delicious treats they have. Chris competes almost every weekend around the country in the biggest barbecue competitions. Heavy Smoke is right off of 70 in St. Peter's at the Cave Springs exit on the outer road. Chris's barbecue, the most succulent, slow-cooked, perfect party your mouth has ever experienced. Homemade sides. Man's a barbecue genius. And here's the deal. A lot of people will be having people over for Mother's Day. A lot of people will be having people over for graduation parties, Father's Day. Take some time, relax, and have it catered by Chris Schaefer and Heavy Smoke. Just go to HeavySmokeBBQ.com, and you will enjoy the magic that is Heavy Smoke Barbecue. HeavySmokeBBQ.com. All right, Mr. Licks has issued a response. I'm actually pissed because Wall Street Journal just did a piece on, Doug, is it Allies Beach? Allies Beach?
I don't know.
ALYS? Alice Beach?
I just
Which is the
don't
spot
know.
I hang when my in-laws drag me to the Destin area. Now it's going to be overcrowded and ruined by the fats. That's
Oh.
from Mr. Licks.
Drag me to the Destin area. Like it's such a chore to go to a beautiful part of the country.
Yeah. Some of those places are really neat. Like Rosemary Beach.
Yeah,
is that,
that's part of
Sunshine, I think,
30A.
is another one. Yeah.
Really cool spot.
Yeah.
Like if you're not gonna go to South Florida, I think Destin is great.
Guys, I'd like to nominate Madison as the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month based on her Mr. Licks take. That's from Joan Jett's Groping Hand. Would she be interested in being the Milagro Tequila Listener of the Month for
Zero.
May?
She would like to be the listener of
Zero
the month?
interest in that. I would just scratch it. She will not submit.
No. Does she listen a lot?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, she listens
does?
when she gets ready. Yeah. So she leaves for work at 9, so she gets 2 hours of solid content.
Oh, God.
She said I killed it yesterday. So.
You did. You did.
What happened yesterday? I don't know.
I don't
He had a
even
nice
know.
day with these fingers.
You're just a big old champion to me, Plowco. Is that a Code Red Mountain Dew you're hammering right there?
Look, I have an issue.
Goodness
What's going on?
Hubbard has been superb, but the change from Coke to Pepsi products
Oh, I didn't know that had happened.
is one that I find is a miss.
Oh, is it?
Just me. So I don't like Pepsi, so I went with a Code Red. You'll see me drink about one of these Jackson a year, and today
I'm witnessing it now. I've never seen you with a Code Red.
How much caffeine is in that bad boy?
I don't even want to
I
look
bet
at the stats.
200
I don't like
milligrams,
looking at those
maybe
stats.
150 milligrams of caffeine.
Some of that Red Bull stuff will stop your heart.
Oh.
You got to be careful with
I can't
that.
believe how much I used to drink of that stuff. And then you'd combine it with vodka, and it's just like,
Oh, it's the worst idea.
like the late aughts and the crap that was going on. Holy
Reefer drinks about 3 or 4 a day.
Does it really?
Red Bulls?
A day.
Yeah, they're addicting.
Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. Design, air, heating, and cooling email today coming your way in about a half hour. What do you have coming up on Balloon Party, Jackson?
Wide Berth Wednesday,
Wide
Tim.
Berth Wednesday.
Oh. Little half and half. Little Will Pills half and half.
Nice.
And a lot to talk about, Cardinals, all the situation there. So Good. Should be a great program today on 101
That's
ESPN.
from 10 to 11. Doug has a twin bill for Sound Story.
Mm-hmm.
You can get yours for Mother's Day, mysoundstory.com. That's mysoundstory.com. Jackson, available at $249.99. Then you enter the promo code of TMA, and it's 20% off. And the next thing you know, you're getting Jackson for Doug, I would say, about $195.
What kind of talk is that?
That's Chris Berman. Doug, John Hewlett, Randy Character, Learn, Riz, Moon, Courtney Landrum, myself, all available as well. 20% off with the promo code TMA. It is a gift certificate. Oh, look, I just took care of it. It's 9/16 right now on May 10th, 2023. And the next thing you know is you got Mother's Day shopping done by 9/20 by going to the website and getting the gift card by entering the promo code TMA. You get 20% off. MySoundStory.com. Mother's Day. Check that off the box for the, check that off the list for today. MySoundStory.com. Send your emails in the morning after at InsideSTL.com. This is the Ryan Kelly Morning After.
Biggie's Restaurant and Bar has been a staple of the community for over 30 years and is serving your favorites like the steak sandwich, waffle fries, and so much more. It's not just the food that's rocking. With a full bar and patio, Biggie's is the perfect spot for lunch, dinner, and a little laughter. Biggie's original hours are back. Open 11 a.m. till midnight, Wednesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And 11 a.m. till 1 a.m. on Friday and Saturday. Check out the full menu at biggiesrestaurant.com and stop in today.
The Dotem After Party at the Normandy Pavilion will happen both days after the tournament, May 18th and 19th. Brought to you by CJC Transport. We improve transportation bottom line, one load at a time. After 18 holes of golf, come hang with your buds and TMA guys for food, drinks, and fun. And nudity, or at least most of those things. While you're there, get you a CJC Transport cocktail, smash burgers from Rockstar Tacos, and the fine folks from Evolution Festival will be on site sampling 9 different bourbons and whiskeys, like Yellowstone Select Bourbon, Rebel 100 Straight Rye Whiskey, and more. Plus, CJC Transport will be hosting a single long putt challenge with your chance to score $2,500. The Dotem After Party. Find out more at TMASTL.com.
Hey, it's Jackson from Mark Hanna. TMA listeners have a lot to think through financially. Saving for retirement and college while also paying bills and enjoying life along the way. Whether you're like me and starting your financial planning, or if you're already retired, call Mark Hanna. Mark works with you to design a strategy to do your finances right. It's a straightforward approach that starts with a 15-minute phone call to discuss your needs. Visit evergreenstl.com or give Mark a call at 314-889-0503 today. Mark Hanna offers securities through Equitable Advisors and insurance and annuity products through Equitable Network, LLC.
Munganess, St. Louis Acura, and Alton Toyota, the presenting sponsor of Balloon Party on 101 ESPN, and the longtime 7 o'clock hour sponsor on TMA, and the official automotive provider of TMA and the Tim McKernan Show podcast. They have a secret number for our listeners to call or text with any questions or requests they may have. 314-252-0029. Call or text that number. Go shopping at stlouisacura.com or altontoyota.com.
Hey, St. Louis, Eddie McVeigh here from Maggie O'Brien's. When you head downtown for a concert or cards or blues game, and now for the St. Louis City soccer game, please come see us at Maggie O'Brien's before and after your event. Take our shuttle to and from, or stay in-house and watch your favorite team on our multiple high-def TVs. We look forward to seeing you soon at one of our 2 locations in Sunset Hills on South Lindbergh or downtown at the corner of Market and 20th Street. Union Station is next to us.
Hi, I'm Ryan Kelly with thehomeloanexpert.com. Great news for homeowners. Mortgage rates have really dropped over the last few months, but there's a lot of volatility. Some days they go up, some days they go down. Locking in on the right day could be the difference of several $100s a month, and that's why you need an expert. We will review current market trends and give you all the information needed so that you can make the right decision. Thinking about a refinance or buying a home? It all starts today at thehomeloanexpert.com. The Home Loan Expert LLC, NMLS number 1326241.
Hey, this is Tim McKernan of TMA, and I am thrilled to have new clients on board, Longo Biggs Injury Law. CD Longo and Doug Biggs. And Doug, the thing I want our audience to know is that you guys are local and you guys are different. Tell our audience how you're different.
Yeah, Tim, both CD and I are from St. Louis area, born and raised in the South City area or the South County area, and we are also thrilled to be part of the TMA family now. If anyone signs up with us for an injury case, their case is treated like they are family. We get to know you, we get to know the ins and outs of your case, and make sure we represent you like you are part of our family. We're not like one of the large firms in the area who might take your case and just treat you like another number or another file. You'll get our personal attention. It's either CD and I who will handle your case directly, and if you are injured in an accident, please remember us. You can visit us at longobigs.com, and that's Bigs with 2 G's.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely upon advertisements.
Mother's Day is this weekend. Shopping for mom is always tough. What do you give to the person who has given you and your family everything? This year, give the gift that will mean more than anything, and give the gift that will last forever. And that gift is a Sound Story. Sound Story is a 1-hour interview professionally produced at the Hubbard Studios here in St. Louis. The way it works is your mom picks the date, the person she wants to do the interview, and then comes into the studio for a conversation about her life, the lessons she's learned, and the family she loves. And right now, for Mother's Day, enter promo code TMA for 20% off a Sound Story gift card at mysoundstory.com. With a gift card to Sound Story, you're able to take care of Mother's Day shopping in a matter of minutes, and you're able to give a gift that lasts a lifetime. Mom will love the experience of sharing her stories, and your family, both today and years from now, will love to have the stories saved forever. Just go to mysoundstory.com, enter promo code TMA at checkout, and save 20% off your Sound Story gift card and give mom the perfect Mother's Day gift.
Driving the ball 300 yards is cool and impresses your buddies, but scoring amounts to getting the ball in the hole. Thus, the best way to lower your scores is to improve your short game. If you want a golf green that putts true and gives you real grass performance when practicing chips, pitches, and bunker shots, the only company to call is Clubhouse Turf, St. Louis's exclusive partner of Celebrity Greens. Each Clubhouse Turf signature green is unique in design and can create your own backyard golf experience that your family and friends will enjoy for years to come. Call Clubhouse Turf today at 314-802-6229. Or visit them online at clubhouseturf.com.
They say consistency is the key to success. They weren't wrong. So how about grabbing a beer that's consistently smooth, consistently refreshing, and consistently light? You might just find that the road to success can be pretty enjoyable. Michelob Ultra, the perfect balance of taste and refreshment, and only 2.6 carbs and 95 calories. It's only worth it if you enjoy it. Enjoy responsibly. Anheuser-Busch Michelob Ultra Light Beer, St. Louis, Missouri.
Hello, it's Jackson for Rosalitas. TMA listeners know that Rosalitas Cantina has the best patio and the best Tex-Mex in town. From tableside guac to piled high nachos, the amazing menu at Rosalitas is full of classic Mexican dishes. Plus, it's always time for a margarita, and Rosalitas has the most delicious house and specialty margs in town. Enjoy happy hour specials Monday through Friday from 3 to 6, and let Rosalitas cater your next event. Check out rosalitascantina.com or visit the downtown or DePere location today. Time to get your fiesta on at Rosalitas.
Aerosmith, The Peace Out Tour. October 26th at Enterprise Center. Tickets on sale now, but you can win yours for free. Just sign into the TMA mobile app or go to tmastl.com. Live from the Michelob Ultra Studios, KPNT-FM HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis. This is TMA All Day.
The Ryan Kelly Morning After.
On KPNT HD2, Collinsville, St. Louis.
Yeah, you're right. It is the sickest Ween Wednesday we've ever had.
It's among the sickest, anyway.
Ryan Kelly, Morning After, Michelob Ultra Studios. Timothy Michael McKernan, Douglas Sullivan, Vaughn, Action Jackson's in the studio for the ill. Kenneth Iggy Strode, he has COVID, and we hope he is okay, and will return at some point this
Get
week.
well, whistle, Snoot.
And if not, maybe we'll see him on Monday.
Mm-hmm.
The Plowhawk is on the 1s and 2s. Nobody is in the Horton Watkins studios today, so we're flying without a net today, Doug.
God, I know.
Jackson, are you like doubling the workload?
It's nothing I can't handle.
Wow.
So we don't know if we got a phone call either, I guess.
That is one thing.
All the ladies are calling in.
That's the breaks, is that I can't do that. But
I think that's a win. It's a huge win.
You know, podcast still going up, everything's still going the same. So you just kind of have to hustle a little bit more. But hey,
we could take the phone calls blind, couldn't we?
But if we don't have we don't have an alert saying like someone's calling in. Like the
Oh.
phone is sitting over there, no one's.
We don't even know if someone's calling.
I love how Jackson almost said, and it was correct. We have nobody looking at that phone
We
because
seriously
it's
don't, yeah.
hard. I can't. This is such an awkward
Yeah.
position for me to do.
Right. It's not in your purview. It's certainly not in my purview.
I wish we could get it to blink on the board. I know we had a board.
101
way
has a
back in the
sign
day.
that says phone call coming
Yeah.
in. That would be.
That'd be huge.
Yeah.
That's one we don't necessarily need.
Yeah. I mean, almost because almost no one ever calls in, but.
Can't you just scoot that phone over a little closer to you?
But again, it's the purview.
Closer where? Like
I'm tired of the word purview.
I would need it.
What about sentient?
I don't like that either.
I'd really need it to where Bill James is right now. That would be probably.
Maybe Bill James could start bobbling when there's a
Bobbling.
phone call coming. We get that programmed in.
Watch us on YouTube and see how hot we are. Decide who you want to go private with today on TMA.
When there's no producer in that room, that's a good place to go private.
That would be a good spot.
Yeah, that is it's actually the perfect spot because it's soundproof. That's the key. Is you don't want to you don't want to give it away for free.
You could have any discussion you wanted to have, and no one would hear it.
Right. And it's kind of like tough to see in there, so you can get really as naughty as you'd like.
It's like going to confession, only naughtier.
It is much naughtier.
Somebody could, with nobody in there right now, just stop the recording though.
I've never seen a greater look of horror on a gentleman's face than when Jamie Rivers opened that door and Jackson and I were basically on top of each other in there
Yeah.
because there's no room. But I was in there talking to him.
He was jealous.
What do we have going on in here?
I don't think you can actually fit 3 in there.
We've done it.
Is that right? Who are the 3 hot guys?
It was me, Matt Rocchio.
Yeah.
And then
And his guma.
and then Carly Warren slipped in there, and she's smaller, but that was I think if like me, Tim, and Jamie Rivers were in there, we'd start running out of oxygen pretty soon.
Rocky will have his tuba case with him.
Yeah, no, he keeps that here.
I thought he did.
There's a little locker in the back for his tuba.
I was talking with Tommy, I don't know if this week or last week, and he goes, sometimes I'll see Jackson here until 5 o'clock, and I'll be like, you got to go home. Don't you have something to do? And he goes, but then I find out that he's sitting there with Rocky talking NBA all day, and that's
gosh.
That's part of it. I don't stay. I haven't been here past like 3 or 4 in a long, long time. So some days it's just me.
Why don't you stay here until 5 and talk NBA?
I'm good.
Sometimes
God, that sounds
I'm
awesome.
fine the way things are right now.
Sometimes it's me with my nose to the grindstone for that long. But for the most part, yeah, if I'm here later, it's most likely because me and Rock were in a hot debate about the NBA.
What's his team?
He doesn't have a team, just like me, just a big fan of the whole league.
Just a big old fan.
Yeah, you kind of treat it like a reality show. That's how I see it.
Who's
Some people
in the finals, Jackson? Go!
I still think the Celtics in the East, and I think out of the West, you're going to see the Nuggets. I think we're going to see Celtics Nuggets. Chalky play, but
Michael Porter
not too
Jr.
chalky when they're down 3-2.
Yeah.
Michael
for the
Porter
East.
Jr. playing pretty well these days, isn't he?
Yeah, he's hit or miss. A big transition 3 guy really gets the olds upset.
LeBron James, baby.
You think it's the Lakers?
I don't think they're going to win, but I'd love to see it.
I would too.
I like to see him get. I don't like Golden State, man. Just don't like the cockiness. Don't like people now. They're like, oh, Steph Curry has nobody. But yeah, he had 3 Hall of Famers.
Are people saying that he has nobody?
Again, I follow a lot of different random Twitter accounts that don't have a lot of sway. So this is probably just a dude in his basement.
You and all the college
but
basketball
it is
fans.
being said.
Yeah, he certainly has 2 Hall of Famers on his team and then probably a Hall of Fame coach. So
I wanted to kind of see the Suns. I love D-Book, but
D-Book is playing out of his mind.
yes, he is. But I think Denver after that game, it's over now.
Yeah, well, Nikola Jokic scored 53 a couple nights ago and still lost.
And
so.
push the owner.
Yeah, they reconciled though.
Yeah.
All right, Loomster, what I was tending to while Jackson was talking Nuggets is Doug, all the matchups in the second round, because I know you wanted to see how you did in your office pool. So I posted it on the TMA fan page, and then that way, whoever this Joseph guy is, that's everybody can see the matchup and then contact your opponent, because your deadline is May 21st, and there'll be a forfeit, and that can lead to some banty people.
Well,
and
they made their bed, and I'll lie in it.
So there it is. It's out there. Cletus and I are scheduled tentatively for May 20th, 2023. You going to go to that?
I'll pass this time.
Why?
I'm scheduled to be injured that day.
Scheduled to be injured.
Mm-hmm.
I got to make sure Carlos Spicy winner is available. That guy caddies me to victories. He's
Yeah.
got like a 750 winning percentage.
And the bacon shirt.
Mm-hmm.
That's got to be, it strikes fear into the opponent's heart.
should, yeah.
You got to get like someone to be like a little distraction for Cletus. You got to get to someone.
Might be where you come into play.
The boy toy or something.
Yeah.
Trying to think, what's the feature matchup of the second round? I guess it's me and Cletus.
100%.
Tough one for the fan page there, because one of us wins.
Yeah.
But good news, one of us loses. What's the second? I'm telling you, this Doug, KG and O-Town and Jackson are on a collision course.
Are they really?
I'd love to play him in a serious round. That'd be great.
KG and O-Town and Jackson are on a collision course.
I would give him putts pretty deep out there. I would see if he returns the favor. And if he didn't, then things would change. Wow. I like to give a putt early in the round that's like, certainly a 50-50 ball. And if that favor is not returned, it's game on.
Is it really?
Yeah, then we're putting out everything. Okay. But that's just how I operate.
I think you should probably putt out everything anyway, just as a rule.
Do you know match play?
Yeah, clearly
Not like you do.
Thank you.
But then there's no arguing about it. Just putt it out. It's the whole nature of the game. It's
Fresh
how
off
many
of my,
how many shots till it gets in the hole.
It's stroke play, brother. You got to
Gonna
putt it all
get
out. That's the
close.
deal. I play in some of those events where you do have to putt it all out, and it will all hell can break loose when somebody has like a 2-footer, and it's for bogey, and so they're already a little irritated, and then they get over it, and they don't take their time, and then boom, it lips out, and now here we go.
Oh, well.
And now it gets awkward on the green for the players. People start to turn away, and then they might miss the one for double, and now we're putting for a triple, and the round is now over at this point for the player. All hell has broken loose.
Well, that's the real test, is the nerves that it takes to put the ball actually in the hole, not just to get close to where the guy feels guilty and okay, it's good, pick it up. No, put it out.
Shout out to Cisco, putted every one of them out. He was in the Skins game, but I even think if he even wasn't, that dude's pure class.
He's a man of honor.
Pure class. Beat me fair and square. I love the dude.
While I was on the fan page, I see that there was a post about a woman ended up in a throuple about after a work colleague fell in love with her and her partner. I got to click on that. That roped me in because you know why, Doug? It's 3 ladies.
Yeah, so that's the direction the show's going to take now, I guess.
That's correct. That is 100% correct. A woman ended up going from a couple to a throuple after her work colleague confessed that she was in love with them. Clinical psychologist Dr. Nicole, is it LaPera?
I don't know the name, Tim.
Admitted to Annie McManus on the Changes podcast that she was terrified when colleague Jenna Weekland said she had feelings for her and her wife Lolly.
These are all women we're talking about, all 3 of them.
You don't listen to the Changes podcast?
Yeah.
I usually do, but I guess I missed that episode.
Who did Tupac sample for his song Changes? I'm going to give you 3 seconds. 1,
can I have initials?
2, BH.
Chingy.
Brian Hoffman?
No, Brian Hoffman.
Bruce Hornsby.
Okay.
That's pretty cool.
Tony La Russa and I got in an argument over that. In front of like the entire clubhouse in spring training.
It's like a Mad Lib.
Couldn't have been stranger.
What were you arguing about?
Martin brought up Mark the Bird Fidrich, who I imagine you remember.
Sure.
Plowhawk, do you know who that is?
Yes.
Oh, you do?
Yeah.
Wow.
You kind of look like him. You look like him a little bit. Yeah.
Do you know who he is?
No.
That was one of those moments where Jackson wasn't paying attention. It was very balloon
I don't think
party.
you were.
You don't get a chance to see balloon party here often. I just got a little peek of it.
I was filtering an email. My apologies.
So I guess he was a pitcher in the late 70s with the Tigers.
Yeah, a great one for a couple of years.
Right.
There.
Handsome man.
Talk to the mound and baseball.
Martin made a reference to him while La Russa was sitting at the picnic table. And I go, who the hell's that? And La Russa's like furious. I mean, jokingly furious that I had no idea who he was. And he carried it on, and I went into the clubhouse, and it kept going, and the team's just like, what is this guy doing in here? And why is our manager making fun of him? And then I go, well, you don't know who Tupac is. And he goes, the hell I don't. He sampled horns for Changes.
Horns.
Sampled horns. I can hear him saying that, too.
I remember, I feel like when I was around the Bennis brothers when that was said, and they just couldn't have looked more confused by the whole thing.
I would think so.
That was going on. Back to this incredibly important column.
Oh, that's right.
Dr. LaPera has been with her wife for 7 years at that point, and none of them had experience in non-monogamous relationships. However, She has now advocated for how positive their relationship is, and Weekland recently posted to say there are so many perks to having a life partnership with more than one partner. Oh, is that right? Where are we getting that information
Nice.
from? Hold on, I want to read that again. However, she has now advocated for how positive the relationship is, and Weekland recently posted to say there are, quote, so many perks to having a life partnership with more than one human. Doug, executives have been doing that for years.
Right, with their secretaries.
Correct. Quote, more than a throuple, we are a family. Best friends, a team. I love building life with you angels, Weekland wrote on her Instagram page.
Okay.
I might get a TMA picture and write, I love building life with you angels.
Just you, me, and Doug in the picture?
Yeah. Building
Plowhawk, you're not in our throuple.
You take the
That's
picture.
fine.
I don't think anyone else could take your hog.
You're right.
Oh,
We
Not
couldn't handle it.
willingly.
Flip that off. Speaking on the podcast, Dr. LaPera explained what happened to turn a couple into a throuple and how it was the introduction to a polyamorous relationship for all of them. Quote, she said, Jenna sat us both down at separate times and said she was having romantic feelings for both of us. Never once had we talked about it. Never once had I even really heard much about it. You know, a more plural or multiple type relationship. Dr. LaPera announced the change in her relationship last August, posting that it's expanded me spiritually, emotionally, and mentally. It's been raw and terrifying. Filled with joy, filled with tears, filled with laughs, filled with so much humbling learning about myself and what it is to be in an authentic relationship.
Okay, stop.
More and more couples are welcoming a third partner in the relationship, or perhaps just being more open about it. There have been some celebrity examples with the likes of Dave Hay.
Who the hell is Dave Hay?
These are made
Dave
up.
Hay?
Who is he?
Dave
Why is he experimenting?
Hay. Is that just his name? Is Dave Hay?
H-A-Y?
The boxer?
Celebrity.
Is he a boxer?
Is he a boxer?
I don't know. I just read what they put in the prompter.
Dave Hay.
Even celebrities are doing it, like Dave Hay.
Ernie Borkman's doing it.
Sure.
Who's Dave Hay?
We don't know. We've never heard the
on
name.
delay?
Don't know the man. Never met the man.
I'm trying to think of.
I thought there would be like a Hayes. Haywood. It's just Dave Hay. Hey, Dave.
This might be a ChatGPT
For
column
real.
that I just
Yeah.
started. I got roped into. There have been some celebrity examples with the likes of Dave Hay being open about his relationship.
I am so tired of hearing about Dave Hay.
While many other people have also adopted the throuple model for their own relationships. Sometimes the couples just meet someone else when they all develop feelings for one another, whether that be down at the local gym, Lifetime, or with someone they met on holiday. Some throuples even formed after meeting for a one-night stand on Tinder, proving that there is no one path to love and happiness. Doug, that's what that proves.
Right.
Is Dave Hay the boxer?
That's what
We don't
I came to
know.
the same conclusion, Plowhawk.
Apparently he's a pugilist.
Because the Hay shows
It's
nothing.
spelled H-A-Y-E for the record.
Yeah,
Okay,
it's
yeah.
the boxer.
There's
He's
a
boxer.
contemporary artist from Joliet, Illinois, but that was it. That's all I found.
They got a nice prison there.
That's where he's in a thruple.
Yeah.
Other
Probably don't have a
thruples,
choice in that.
other thruples have said that while it's challenging to maintain the delicate balance of their lives together, what they really have to struggle with is envious people who don't like their relationship arrangement because they're just jealous. Doug, there it is. That's the column. What a wonderful column. I'm glad I read it. Dave Hay.
Yeah, that's the big story
Who
out of
wants
this.
to be the texter, Dave
How did
Hay?
he get dragged into that?
He's got a
mess?
very dense Wikipedia
Oh,
page.
somebody already asked for it. Jackson, here it is. 314. Can my name be Dave Hay?
Sure,
There we
Dave.
go.
Welcome.
Sounds like there was a woman who got tired of her partner, and because she was a doctor, she could use some fancy word salad to describe how wonderful it is now that she has a side chick.
I think that sums it up concisely. The only thing you were lacking in that is Dave Hay.
He just didn't mean anything to the story.
I do imagine that the throuple thing can get a little confusing. I read something on Reddit the other day that there's kitchen table monogamy.
What is that?
What in the world?
Or polyamory, I should say. Kitchen table. It's where like someone's prioritized, where like you have someone that's like your very close significant other, and then the other one is like lower on the rung there. I just think that would end up messy.
Yeah,
Kitchen,
who's
it's
going to
called
want?
kitchen table monogamy?
Who's going to be the
kitchen
one
table
lower on the?
polyamory.
Who's going to want to be the person that's lower on the rung?
Right, I guess whoever comes second to the
I don't mind my time alone, to be honest with you, so I'd be happy to be that person.
Yeah.
Fine with me.
You
Wouldn't
kinda-
that be great?
I love.
You guys are
going to
go out and I can sit at home and pleasure myself and watch something I want to watch.
Oh,
Nobody's going
anything.
to bother me. I'm happy to be in the kitchen table polyamory.
Yeah, you'd be like a setup man. You'd be like an eighth inning guy.
fine.
Like you just they call you
Occasionally
in.
I get the save.
Yeah, they call you in, and then you get in there, and then that's it's a thankless job.
You're looking for a left-right matchup.
Yeah, right. I could see that working out. It's just I do agree with that statement. There's so many different paths to happiness.
Guys, I'm sure it's unrelated, but my wife's personal trainer who can only come over when I'm at work is named Dave Hay. Thanks. That's from Mario in Chicago.
Gosh.
Dave Hayes really throwing a wrench into this whole situation.
His career appears to be on the upswing.
I was like, I wonder what couples are open with their situation. And the name I was given was Dave Hay. And I thought, well, I guess we still don't have an answer.
Well, there's probably a lot of it in Hollywood, people messing around with other people, don't you think?
But certainly, but on just like it is anywhere. But just like on, do you think it's on the up and up, where it's like open relationships or polyamory? More so there?
Probably more so.
More so there than like say in the South or Midwest.
Oh gosh, yeah.
What was I listening to? I was listening to a podcast. This girl goes, "Yeah, I went into the bathroom and I'm at this party and it's an after party, and then I came out and everybody's just having sex with each other."
Oh my word!
And the interview goes, "Well, how long were you in the bathroom?"
That's a good question. What happened before and after? What happened while you were in there? Yeah, that's pretty cool, though.
It is cool.
If like I came
think
out,
that could happen at the Dotem pre-party at Maggie O'Brien.
It would be weird, though, if you walked into the bathroom, everyone's just sitting around fully clothed, having polite conversation. You come out and everyone's having sex with each other.
Every one of
Twilight
them.
Zone episode.
It would- yeah.
Imagine the heat that is in that.
Yeah, the body heat.
The body heat.
Chairman Stephen Wildwood has issued a statement regarding the article. If someone said you can either be part of a throuple, even if the third woman is a woman, or you could continue to masturbate at your current pace, but not both, I would choose to masturbate. I only have capacity to hear one woman's every thought. Thanks, Stephen Wildwood.
Okay. Well, he's had a lot of experience.
Yeah, he's pleasured himself at 2 in the morning.
He's lived all over town. Dogtown, Wildwood, Ballpark Village.
Right. He's been everywhere. The problem with a throuple is that there is always someone who is a third wheel, and then there's hurt feelings. That's from Jackson's favorite texter, Bill's wife.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I think this kitchen table polyamory could be the wave. It's like if you open that up, you have that communication that you are, the setup guy. You are the eighth inning guy. Well, then no one can have hurt feelings. Communication is key. That's what we've picked up from Deidre and from all these other British websites that talk about people's problems.
That make up people's problems to talk about.
ChatGPT it.
Right.
Other people's problems, that you just got to have this communication.
It can happen. Sometimes you can take out the trash and clean the litter box, and you come back and walk in on sex. That's from Cuck
Yeah, that's a great
And he,
example.
of course, is one of the people who has shared an erotic story with us, and that was the one where he went to clean the litter box, and he walked back, and his wife was on top of a woman.
Oh,
well, originally
gosh.
he took out the trash and it took him 15 minutes, as if he lives like on this compound and you need to drive like a gator.
4x4.
Yeah, come on.
Guys, my guess is that party was probably out by Six Flags, except it's fats banging pores whilst eating nachos and other pores food. Thanks, Mario in Chicago.
Could
Loaded
well
for
be.
bear today.
I won't take Eureka slander. Nor will I take Six Flags slander for
What
that
about Pacific?
matter. Pacific's, yeah, that's free game.
They got a prison there themselves.
Do they really?
Oh, yeah, they do.
Is Six Flags in Eureka or Pacific?
I mean, Eureka proper for me.
It feels like Eureka.
It feels like a treat when you walk in those gates.
Does it?
It's like Busch Stadium.
I went to the Fright Fest thing there. That was pretty fun. I had a good time.
Oh, yeah, I wear the no scare bands.
No scare.
Yeah, it's like-
that tells them not to scare you?
Yeah,
They're typically for like the 3 to 6 year olds.
They're like glow in the dark beads.
Yeah, they're glow in the dark beads. It looks dumb, but
Looks really good on the mid 30s guy.
Six Flags is like heaven for kids right before they get their driver's license.
Right.
That's what the Vaughn boys always wanted to do with their friends.
It
Was go
was-
to Six Flags.
You're going out and you're engaging in heavy petting in the time tunnel.
I didn't hear about that.
Doug, we did opening weekend last Saturday, and it
How
was
was it?
packed. Man, it was fun as hell. I
Yeah.
love that place, but it was packed.
Yeah, what was the line situation? Like how long for the Batman?
See, the Evel Knievel we got on twice in a row. The Batman took about 45 minutes, and we were in line for Mr. Freeze, but we had 2 people in front of us, let me tell you.
How many?
The B.O., was
Oh, no.
I'm not. No. Madison can attest. It was so bad. We gave like a 4-foot berth in this line. It's just a gap.
Oh.
And it was heavy wind on Saturday.
No.
The wind
Hawk
was
up.
in my face.
Right in your snoot.
And we weren't even like inside the stair corridor yet. And I'm
not
thinking,
yet.
what could happen when we're just closed in right next to him? We had to dip.
Were they
we
sweating?
got out of the Mr. Freeze. Mr. Freeze is my favorite ride. So that BO was beyond belief.
Were they sweating?
Bill.
It smelled like no shower in a week at least. It was heavy, dude. It was thick. Thought I was in smog.
It was like there was a fog in it.
The last time I went, I played that. You pay $10 to shoot baskets on a rim that's too small.
Oh yeah, I see that.
And
yeah.
I did. I went and I didn't shoot as well as I wanted to. And then some kid, probably 9 years old, with the brokest looking jump shot I've ever seen, knocks in like 8 or 9 of them, and I couldn't let myself get punked like that.
So you went back?
I paid another $10 to
And
do it
shot
again.
and got an enormous stuffed bear. Or
I got
something?
a basketball, an outdoor basketball that I immediately gave to some kid because you can't take it in line for the rides.
No,
They
yeah,
got
they give you a prize that you don't want to hold on to the
Right.
rest of the day.
And they're like, oh, you can go pay another $10 for a locker to put that in.
Yeah.
Oh,
This
what a
ye-
scam.
I'll walk all the way back
What a
up to your car.
scam.
This year's new addition to the toy area at Six Flags, I know this because I go quite often, Double Diamond.
Right.
Blessed.
But dude, they got this oversized pineapple. And I see,
swingers country.
parents
Sounds
carrying
like
it.
it
I'm
might
like,
be.
huh? Is that,
Oh.
going to be going on
Were they
the
holding it
doorstep?
upside down?
No, they were holding it reluctantly as their kid runs 20 feet ahead of them.
Oh, brutal. Absolutely brutal.
You can lose a kid there real quick.
Oh, leash! You should. There's more leashes there than are any dog park in the country.
Kids on leashes.
I've never seen 3 hooked up to leashes.
Oh, yeah.
a
Two-
free shoot.
You can lose them.
3 kids hooked up to leashes, all on like the same line. It's one leash, but it had 3 separators, so they
Yeah.
can actually. But 2 of them had turkey legs. I'm not kidding. They were not but 7 years old, and they had individual turkey
They needed a
legs.
turkey.
They were
There's
hungry.
a lot of protein there. Hey, if you get injured while wearing a leash, then you want to contact CD Longo and Doug Biggs of the Longo Biggs Injury Law Firm. If you're in an accident, things can spiral out of control quickly. You might have medical bills piling up. You might not be able to work or provide for your family, and you're probably getting the runaround from the insurance company you've been talking to. Don't fight this fight alone. Injury cases can be complex. Each case and accident is different, and every fact is important when building a case. People often wonder how injured victims get large settlements or verdicts, and the short answer is because they are represented by effective and skilled lawyers who understand how to get every dollar out of their case. And that's what you'll get at Longo Biggs Injury. Skilled trial lawyers who will go to battle for you to fight against the deceitful tactics that you can run into from the insurance adjusters. It's Longo Biggs. Longo Biggs Injury Law accepts personal injury, wrongful death, brain injury, and other catastrophic injury cases. Go online at longobiggs.com. Remember, the choice of an attorney is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements. Doug, are you going to go out and get work in today at Family Golf? I would recommend you do.
Yeah, I'm going to try to play.
I think the weather today is kind of optimal. I think it is. Jackson, is that?
Yeah, I'm thinking about getting out there.
Little drizzle in the morning, but then it's supposed to be nice the rest of the day.
Soften up the greens is all that does.
Maybe we should have a rematch with the people that we took some money from on Friday, because I see they're on the tee sheet, huh?
That could be a good play.
Jackson.
Why are we talking?
Jackson's kind of on a watch list after his performance on Friday.
Like after the 12th hole bunker situation, I don't understand how one
I
could
understand, but all that did was doctor the score a little bit. So you did the right thing. Oh, Tim's in for par. I can, act like I can't get out of a bunker in 10 shots.
A low bunker, too. That wasn't like I was getting up at St. Andrews.
Jackson, I don't know. The people might want a piece of you.
I don't want any problems.
Yeah, so there could be an opportunity today. But if you are not playing today, but you just want to get some work in, I would like to recommend the wonderful people at Family Golf. What a great place to get work in that short game area. You want to see improvement. If you're sitting there saying, I'll get emails from people asking about where you get your clubs. I'll give you my answer. You want to know my answer? It's got nothing to do. Here we go. Unrelatable. It's fine. Piss off. I don't really care. Belle Reve. It's got nothing to do with Belle Reve.
That's where you got your clubs.
Guy named Jeffrey Schulte has set up his own business at the end of the range at Belle Reve. You don't have to be a Belle Reve member. And he builds out the clubs right there, and you're hitting on the range, and that's where I went. Email me about Jeffrey Schulte. I'll connect you, because the guy's a wizard, and anybody who's a decent player in St. Louis knows about him. So that's the answer there. And then what about who you're working with on your swing? And I've seen the great Craig Story. I've seen the great Adam Betts at Family Golf. But if Doug, you can get new clubs, and you can see swing instructor after swing instructor. If you don't have Jeffrey Field, my guy, but I'm telling you this, if the short game isn't right, the strokes are not going to get shaved. That short game area at Family Golf is the place to do it. It is gold. And if nobody's on that thing, and oftentimes there are people just were banging away driver on the range, be my guest, not going to help you out much. You can hit like full 80-yard to 90-yard pitch shots on that short game area. So it is golden. It's Family Golf featuring a double-decker driving range. It's the best driving range. FamilyGolfOnline.com. Host your event there, birthday parties, graduation parties, corporate events, and clinics. Albert Pujols was there for John Jay's tournament last year. They make St. Louis better at golf. Learn, practice, play your best golf. Family Golf. It's FamilyGolfOnline.com. Use the short game area.
Don't yell at us.
Pisses me off.
Okay. Some of us are 20 handicaps for a good reason.
But you'd be at 10 if you worked on the short game.
I'd still slice a driver.
Think so?
Yeah. Yeah, I still would. Always
What
have.
causes that?
I guess the club's not hitting the ball at the right angle. I don't know.
I guess the wrist might be open when you come through.
And then every now and then, just enough to keep me going back, I'll hit one perfect. Go, okay.
There it is.
That's what it is. And then the next ball I hit, same way, right turn.
Nice.
Yeah,
that would be.
I need
Gateway,
I
though, the
definitely need
fairways
lessons.
are so wide open. You'd be dangerous in the Fan Page Club Championship. You ought to play in it.
Well, I'm scheduled to be hurt again almost every weekend
in
while that's going
2024.
on. Yeah.
You're not
These orthopedic injuries, they stack up on you.
They'll build on you.
Boy,
Ladies and gentlemen, it is time for our Design Air Heating and Cooling email of the day. It is May 10th, and as we're a third of the way through the month, we have Buck Swope leading with 2 wins. AI relies on computer vision, natural language processing, and machine learning to recognize different patterns. AI models also use decision-making algorithms to learn from their training, collect and review data points, and ultimately apply their learning to achieve their predefined goals. But you know who it will never be as smart as?
No.
Tim.
Oh, gosh.
Effing never. Anyway, I've got a confession to make. I've never been into guys. Dramatic pause. Until yesterday. He was so cute. His cap said, "Kiss me, it's my birthday." So I passionately made out. He pressed me against the counter, our tongues, fingers, legs, and multiple other appendages all intertwined. As my legs trembled, he held me up with his hands, cupping my now bare buttocks.
Oh.
Then he spun me around and flat out tore me up. And that's the story of the time I had sex with my face smashed into the assorted moon pies kiosk at the Sunset Hills Bass Pro Shop.
Oh, I haven't been there yet.
What could it hurt? How about I'll be walking funny for a week from the effects of his massive love? Ironically, the physical pain was on my way to happiness. That's from old enough to groan better.
Old enough to groan better. He's new.
I'm going pork loin shopping with this guy I met off the off-ramp at Hampton in 44. Doug, do you look for a thicker long cut of meat? Thanks. That's from Dave the Cat Hay.
Dave the Cat Hay. He's new.
Morn. I'll be back from uni for the Dotem. You like that when somebody calls university?
I don't like it, no.
I'll be back
Not
from
at
uni
all.
for the Dotem and wanted to hashtag reach out and see if any fan pagers were interested in a jersey swap after both day 1 and day 2 of the Dotem. I'm 5'6", but we're a triple XL,
Yeah.
so it should fit most.
Yeah, it's hot. I don't care who says it isn't.
If interested, please comment under the latest thread from the horse betting guy. Also, noting that my wife's brother is coming afterwards on both days to take photos for a Christmas card, so please don't embarrass me in front of him. He works at Pa's House, and I can't afford to stop getting free gift cards. Thanks, that's from Dale Estefan.
Dale Estefan.
Hey, how do I email Balloon Party? I've got a topic for the St. Louis sports know-it-alls that's both pointless and riles up the fats. I'm telling you, the Boston sports dynasty is over. It started and stopped with St. Louis. Started in 2001 with those damn Pats over the Rams, and ended when the Blues beat the Bruins in 2019. In that 20-year span, 6 Super Bowls, 2 World Series, 1 NBA, and 1 Stanley Cup. Prior to that run, Boston to win a championship for over 15 years. Good talk. Last request. Can Plowsy ask Doug to hum into the mic for 3 seconds so I can finish?
No.
Doug, tell him good luck. That's from the sexy robot.
No, tell him good luck.
Why would I have to tell Doug?
I'm not humming. Sexy robot.
And finally, ours is the type of presentation where a 53-year-old with no prior knowledge about DMA feels free to drop in at any time and join the show as an unpaid intern. The evil David Letterman was around for all of 2 days, and the audience was only made aware of his presence because the cat couldn't get over the fact that someone his age was interning on the show. Once the texters were made aware of the 53-year-old intern, his time was short. For the most part, evil David Letterman avoided speaking on air, but did feel the need to address a text asking how he was going to make child support payments.
Oh, man.
During his unpaid internship.
Brutal.
The cat quickly pivoted to Aaron Miles' $40,000 a month for child support payments, and he never heard from evil David Letterman again. So the last words we heard from him was a statement that he doesn't have to worry about child support payments, presumably because he only bangs postmenopausal blue hairs he picks up at Miss Sherry's. Look, I feel like I would have remembered that moment.
The cafeteria there in Manchester?
There's one in South City, too.
Oh.
At least there used to be. Is that a bread company now?
Oh, Pasta House is fire.
We're talking about Miss Sherry's. Again,
Sherry's.
tape
Oh.
delay.
The cafeteria.
Yeah, I was still on Pasta House. That sounds lame, dude.
It's flame?
Oh, yeah.
Did you just get high right in front of our faces? I didn't see you. Didn't take any.
No, I just did. Forgot about the Pasta House that was just added there on Manchester. Sounds
Okay.
good.
Yeah.
Back to regular schedule.
Okay, let's get back to it.
Maybe AI can replicate a standard sports radio show, but until it can break down the BMI analytics of the fans of the NL Central or suffer an emotional breakdown over a rumor about a 23-year-old possibly transferring to another school or struggle to settle the definition of a cuckold for years on end, then I think all of your jobs are safe. Thanks. That's from Buck Swope.
Oh.
And that's what we have for the Design Air Heating and Cooling email today. Buck Swope is your leader.
Buck Swope with a nice little email.
Doug, what you got?
I did like Buck Swope, but I thought in this case, the one I liked best was Dale Estefan.
Jackson.
My answer goes to, I'm going to go with Dale Estefan.
I agree. I thought Dale Estefan was the best. Dale Estefan with a nice win.
Nice
Who is this guy? Is he somebody to keep an eye on?
He's new.
Dale Estefan has won.
Gloria's husband?
The, Miami Sound Machine. What's your favorite Gloria Estefan or Miami Sound Machine song? Because you were right there as it was peaking.
I don't know the words or the title, but that's the way the song went.
Nice.
Miami Sound Machine.
Yeah.
I don't know the name of the song.
Was anything for you Gloria Estefan or was it Miami Sound Machine?
I don't know.
Gloria Estefan.
Is that right?
That's what it says here. Yeah.
LaRusso, but that was where she was just electric.
Dre De Matteo?
Martin, the skipper. It's another random spring training story. You get two in this 9 o'clock hour.
That's nice.
And asked Tony if they could get together and do something. Because now I got to head down to Miami. Got to go see Gloria Estefan. And then the next day, Martin, seizing the moment and the sarcasm. Tony, how was the Mark Estefan? Or how was the show with Gloria Estefan? He goes, just electric. She's just electric.
Doesn't a still shot of Gloria Estefan look like Dre De Matteo?
A little bit.
Adriana from Sopranos? Kind of looks like her.
Steven Van Zandt got her.
A little bit.
Yeah, well.
Spoiler.
Shouldn't have sang like a songbird.
Oh, she said spoiler again.
Yeah.
It's only been out 20 years.
Well, you need time to watch everything.
That's right. You also need time to head over to Glenn Betts Jewelers. That's what you need to do. You got to go and support the sponsors. And Glenn Betts, Craig Betts, was in studio earlier this week. Doug, you took quantum physics with him.
Yeah.
At Kirkwood
We
High
studied
School.
together at not uni,
Uni.
at High. At High.
High.
Secondary school.
Kirkwood High. Glenn Betts
Primary
Jewelers.
school as well.
In business, it's third and fourth generation now working in the store right there a mile east of I-270 in Manchester exit. It's in De Pere. You park right behind the building, and you got plenty of parking for Glenn Betts Jewelers. The Glenn Betts difference? As you are served personally, you are not sold. Glenn Betts Jewelers develops relationships through generations of your family as well. They get to know your likes, your lifestyle, and who and what you love, the 3 L's. GlennBettsJewelers.com. That's GLENNBETZ Jewelers.com. Located 1 mile east of 270 on Manchester and De Pere. In the jewelry business, there is good, better, and then there is Betts. The Betts family passion for serving their customers has been passed down from generation to generation. Doug, there's good, there's better, and then there's Betts.
Good, better, best. Never let it rest till your good is better and your better is Betts.
Think about that. Glenn Betts Jewelers. Right there at I-270 and Manchester, a mile east of the interchange at I-270 in Manchester. It's in De Pere or online at glennbettsjewelers.com. Support the sponsors. That's the name of the game. Jackson and I are going to go get it handed to us. Doug and the Plowhawk are going to stay in the Michelob Ultra Studios because they have 2 sound stories. Go get yours. TMA is the promo code MySoundStory.com. Jackson's the value play at $249. Doug and I $549. Learn $549. Riz $540. I'm getting 20% off, and then it's like $440. So there you go. It's Mother's Day. It's easy shopping, and you give a gift that mom will love, and everybody in the family will be able to listen to for years on end. MySoundStory.com. Promo code TMA. Time for us to shut it down. For the Plowhawk, for KG and O-Town, who is out today, for Jackson and for Kenneth Iggy Strode, who is out today, from Everything Kevin, for Douglas Elvin Vaughn, I'm Tim McKernan. This has been the Ryan Kelly Morning After from the Michelob Ultra Studios.
Mother's Day is this weekend. Shopping for mom is always